It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus. Windows and doors that go beyond.
All right, welcome back to all of you. Hope you had a fun Memorial Day weekend. Reflected. Spent some time with friends and fam, enjoyed the weather and all that, and we're good to have you back. Rothman and Ice, Anthony Rothman. Matty Ice is back off his little sojourn. The Bake Show at the Switches as CB is out, so it's that time of year. Boys, good to see you, Matty. Welcome back.
See you. I'm back, baby. I'm back in the house, feeling good, feeling great. The weekend was action-packed. Congrats to one of my best friends, Jairus, his wife, Christy. You know, I was a part of that wedding on Friday. I don't ever want to drink ever again.
You were a groomsman.
Yeah, I was a groomsman, looking good. I actually sweated out the tux. I had to come out of the blazer when we started dancing, hitting the swag star. So I was, what do they call, cutting up the rug or whatever that saying is, the old saying there on the dance floor. I was doing that. Had a nice little cookout yesterday. Watched a lot of wrestling this weekend. The King and Queen of the Ring popped off this weekend. So, yeah, my weekend was awesome, man. And then you kind of get the Sunday scaries going on. You know, you got to
In this case,
around.
It was the Monday scaries.
Yeah, it was the Monday scaries last night at about 9 o'clock. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to bed. I think I went to bed last night at like 9:30 because I was like, let's just get into bed, get up, get going, and let's get back in here and rock out with AR. So it's good to see you again, man. I know you guys were holding it down for a few days, and here we are back at it again.
You missed a lot of cool stuff, Matty.
Did I really?
Missed a good Wheel of Fortune episode last week and some other fun things and some viral stuff. But it's good to have you back. I'm glad you had a good time. Congrats to your friends. That's awesome. But yeah, we were afraid that maybe, you spend several days out of here. And I know you're the guy that says if I won the lottery, I'd still come to work. You're one of the very few. I got to admire you for it or not. I'm not really sure whether I admire you for that or not. But anyway, it is good to have you back. We will have a nice show for you today. We'll talk some NFL. We'll talk Bengals with our boy Dave Lapham. So a little lap dance for you at 2:33. And Gary Gramling in the second hour at 1:33. He's the NFL managing editor of The Athletic. We'll get into the Browns defense. I know they want to be even better than they were last year. Will they be better against the run? We'll find out. And we got a lot to do. We'll do our version of Party Like a Rothstar because we have plenty of stuff to party about this past weekend.
It's a day to celebrate because on the NFL calendar right now, we are exactly 100 days from the season kicking off. And I like to do this every year. I start to do the countdown when we get to this point, and you're always telling me, pump the brakes, hop in the slow lane. Let's enjoy this ride before we get to fall and the grind that is the NFL and the Ohio State season. But I'm here to tell you, it's time to get the final countdown rolling. I wish we could play the song right now because I feel like it's appropriate for what we do.
Is it the final countdown?
For me, it is.
Not even June.
When we get to 100 days, it's on and popping. And even before then,
100 days.
You know, AR, that we're getting the Buckeye football season kicking off right at the tail end of August. So you got a couple months here to get all your rounds of golf in, get all your sessions in down in the basement with the pizza sweats, because before you know it, we'll be kicking off, baby.
That's it. Cold, wet, and hot. That's it. That's all I got in my life. No, I agree with you. Everyone's looking forward to it. I do like the fact when you live in this climate, though, you do want to take advantage because it is so short. It really is. And I know. Listen, we love our season. Our biggest season is football season, and everybody loves it, and everyone's looking forward to it, and they should. You should always look forward to Ohio State football season, but this one in particular. But yes, there's a lot of stuff in the NFL when you think about some of these young guys that could be making their debuts this year. And I know that I think speaking of the 100 days, there were some storylines that I know SB Nation put out and excited about, Caleb Williams making his NFL debut, Jaden Daniels, Drake May. We'll see when he goes. Your Ravens against the Chiefs on opening night.
Yeah, this will be a banger.
All that. Jets are going to San Francisco in week 1. Yeah. All that good stuff.
It's going to be a great time, man. And we're getting so much more access now with all these different variations of Hard Knocks. Like, aren't the Giants doing like the off-season version of Hard Knocks? And we'll get an in-season version and the regular version of Hard Knocks. I'm here to say that I think every team should have a Hard Knocks season all year long. They have the ability to do it. Give us the access we want as NFL fans. Could you imagine you as a Viking fan or all of our Browns and Bengals listeners having that type of access all year? HBO, NFL, they need to get this thing done because they're showing us that they can do it. Now you just got to go do it. You did it. Give me the line, Aaron.
Maddie, you know you do it. Everybody does it. I just did it, and I'm ready to do it again.
That's what I'm saying. I think we need this to happen as NFL fans. I would absolutely love it.
The teams don't want it. They really push back. They Heisman that thing. They want to push back on that, stiff arm that. Nobody wants that distraction. The coaches don't really want it. The players probably act like they don't want it, but they really do.
I don't care what they want. I care about what we want. As
well,
fans.
we should
We're
get
the consumer. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're paying enough for all
We're the
this,
consumer.
right?
Forget what they want. This is about us.
I was thinking about, one of the big storylines this year, and we just named off a few, debuts in the teams. But really, the biggest thing, I should not bury it. It's the fact that Mahomes is going after 3 in a row. And the fact that no team has ever done it. No team's ever won 3 straight Super Bowls. There are teams that have lost many Super Bowls in a row.
We're looking at one of them on the TV right now in the studio.
Yeah, and the Bills. Yeah. And teams that have lost more overall. But if Mahomes wins this year, not only would he be the orchestrator of the first three-peat ever, but then that would tie him with Montana and Terry. So now all of a sudden he'd be 3 away from Brady, and then it would almost be gettable. I really look at Mahomes versus Brady right now as far as Super Bowls because it's such a team game versus the individual. When Tiger was chasing Jack Nicklaus, I felt like it was attainable at certain times. Yeah. I mean, even before the car crash, I felt like, okay, it's that weird with him. He's just the one guy that you should never count out. Now he's gotten to an age where it's tough for him to even walk 4 days. He'll come out on Thursday, have a good round, tease everybody, make everybody think that it's exciting, he could do it, and then all of a sudden as the weekend comes, if he makes the weekend, that he just hits a wall physically. If Mahomes gets it, because you and I both felt like they put the GOAT label on him way too early. You can't do that.
Yeah,
Baby GOAT, I think, was okay based on what we've seen, right? But he's not on top of the mountain yet.
No.
But if he gets to 4 and 3 in a row, 4 and 3 in a row, I'm not a math major, but that equals 7. Brady won 7. So if he gets 4 plus 3 in a row, can I do that for him?
No, we can't allow that. He's got such a long way to go to get to that. What this dude is doing is absolutely ridiculous right out of the gate. I don't think their defense gets enough credit for what they did last year, but what he is right now as a quarterback is just something that we rarely see. Like, you get these guys that come through in these different eras and they just absolutely torch the league. Brady, Montana, Aikman. I know Bradshaw's a controversial one because people don't look at him as kind of a dude, but he won 4 Super Bowls.
More controversial than Terry.
Maybe even so, right? With those guys in the juice that they had around him. But you look at what Kansas City is going into this season, and especially on offense, they had the worst offense in the Mahomes era last year, and they still won the freaking Super Bowl. And now you're talking about, a rookie in Xavier Worthy everybody's excited about, and Hollywood Brown. And I saw Hollywood Brown and Travis Kelce and Mahomes at the Mavericks game the other day. So those guys are kicking it. Oh, and I saw some rumors, too, that maybe there's an engagement on the way with Kelsey and Swift. We were on this. We were all, so I think they're making it down the aisle at this point. Like, it's been relatively quiet around those two for a while, but recently I saw something pop up on social media that maybe there has been a ring purchased by Mr. Kelce, and that may be going on the ring finger of Mrs. Swift. I'm excited for that. But yeah, for the Chiefs, man, they're going to be absolutely lethal again this year. They've got the head coach, they've got the defense, they have everything. And now I think they're going to roll out a better offense than what they had a year ago, and that's terrifying for everybody around the league.
Yeah. Well, listen, Kelsey's got, 1 more year left? We feel maybe 2. If he wins a third, it'd be great to go out on that. If he wins 3, but, I could understand why he'd want to start thinking about the rest of his life after that with Taylor Swift. The reason that there's a lot of weird pushback, or not even pushback, but he's biting back now against people that are claiming that they're the ones that matched him up and fixed him up. What was that? Didn't we have that bake last week? Was it Mahomes that went on a show and said something about, didn't he invite him to a concert? He was in the suite, and then he gave him the green light. I thought we had the sound. I don't even know if we played it.
Yeah, I don't know if we played it either. I can go back and grab it here if you would like.
It was Maddie, because what I didn't understand.
Mahomes was on McAfee, I believe, and said that.
And he's taking credit for this relationship?
He's taking credit for putting him in the position to make a run at it. Like if he didn't invite him or he wasn't in the suite that day or something. But the weird part, this definitely deserved a follow-up. I want you to play this. This is what you missed last week.
I like to take some of the credit. I was the one who invited Travis to the first Taylor concert when the friendship bracelet he was sitting in my suite, so I feel like I was the matchmaker. I had some input in there as well. I was like, dude, you just go for it. Just go for it. And you know Travis, man, he does it, and he's a great dude, and I'm glad that it's all worked out for the best.
So he did use the word some, which is key in that, right?
But here's the deal. The fact that there are people out there now claiming that they helped fix them up, Aaron Andrews, Krista Thompson, there are people out there doing this, lends me to believe now that the pending engagement is going to happen. Mm-hmm. Because why would they be going out now saying, hey, before the big news, basically, let it be known I'm the one that lit the fuse on this. Now, what deserves the follow-up with Patrick Mahomes, I don't know if McAfee did this, what deserved the follow-up is, so you invited him to the suite and you told him to, quote, go for it. What does that even mean?
That means shoot or shoot, baby.
No, I know, but they're going to meet her backstage. There was a green light.
I'm sure
she
they had
knew
that
he
access.
was there. There was going to be a fix-up. Like, what did that mean? Because think about that. Like, let's say you wanted to meet somebody, and I know that this person's going to be at the event.
Yeah.
And I invite you to go with me because I know you're interested in this person. And then I just tell you to, quote, go for it.
That's all you can do. It's on me.
But there's no green light. Like that person doesn't know that this person
Well, that's why I think in this scenario, there had to be some back channeling here between the Kelce camp and maybe Swift's camp. That's what we need to find out. After the concert, was there like a VIP party where she was there and he approached her? Because I think that's what it takes. Mahomes can only do so much. You can take the horse to the water, AR, but you can't make the horse drink the water. In this case, Travis Kelce is the horse, and he had to go drink the water, and I think that's exactly what he did. You had to slide in the DMs. Maybe it was a DM. We don't know. But
he claims that he was at this concert where there was going to be a chance to meet her. That's what I'm going to assume, that he's Patrick Mahomes, and he's at a concert in a suite, and he's like, I can introduce you. You should go for it. That feels like that's kind of where this was going, because outside of that, how was he going to meet her?
Yeah, it had to be a little VIP after party. It wouldn't surprise me. Maybe they just went backstage afterwards. She invited him back. I mean, he is
backstage.
He is Patrick Mahomes. You know, he probably gets invited to a lot of cool places, and Travis was probably, having a few throughout the concert. You know what I mean? To work to smooth out the nerves, and then when you see her, all you can do is pull up and hope for the best. And now here we are, a year and some change in, and they're still riding strong. I see you, TK. Yeah. Cleveland Heights, baby.
Yes.
Represent.
Should play that little. Can I play through the microphone my little interview with him when we come back? I'll tell you what. Maybe I could email it to Bacon. You can play it off the computer about Cleveland Heights. All right. We will get back to football here, and we'll bring it back home to Columbus OH, because Will Howard ready to, quote, lay down a monster, as Teddy KGB once said. Who is saying that about him? We'll tell you next. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
If you've recently seen a photo of an older Baker Mayfield fresh off a bender, it's just Bo Bishop. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency. Just another way to give you and your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help save you money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert. I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. It's not just the slogan. That's the Care creed. How about this? Lennox. They have thousands of dealers nationwide. HVAC royalty. Last year, Lennox gave Care their coveted Partner of the Year award because they're trusted by their customers and their partners. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
New 2024, up to 72 months Aria, up to 36 months Rogue, and 6/3/24.
Reichert Nissan has an announcement to make. 0% financing is now available for up to 72 months. Take a Reichert Nissan Aria home today and pay 0% for 72 months. But that's not all. Reichert Nissan also has 0% financing on Rogue 2. Visit the Reichert Mega Mall off 270 and 33 or shop thousands of new and certified used at ReichertNissan.com.
Get the right car at
We're dealing.
With approved credit. Residency restrictions apply. Offers cannot be combined. Dealer contribution affects consumer cost.
Bobby Carpenter here for Affinity Whole Health, the leader in the testosterone and hormone replacement therapy game. And weight loss too, that's right. Affinity offers semaglutide injections for weight loss in addition to their testosterone treatments so you can lose weight and build muscle. They customize a plan directly for you. They added peptides to my TRT. They've added semaglutide with my friend's testosterone, and the results are amazing. They're pumped about summertime and pool season, so check them out at feelgreatcolumbus.com. That's feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Bobby Carpenter once sold workout equipment on QVC Canada. There's no joke here. That actually happened. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekdays starting at 6.
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Ohio Mulch, Landscape Supply.
Hi, this is Ron Frost with Ohio Mulch, and here's to Ohio Mulch celebrating 40 years of making the community a greener and more beautiful place, one garden at a time. Don't miss out on the opportunities to elevate your outdoor space and to be part of a journey towards the next 40 successful years. Check out our promotions online at ohiomulch.com.
Ohio Mulch, Landscape Supply. Greener, greener, better.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spending the money to replace our home's windows is rarely something we get excited about. We usually do it because our energy bills suck or our current windows, well, they're too messed up. But in working with the local Pella Columbus team, my eyes have been opened. New windows can legitimately change the entire look of your home. They've got windows and colors and styles like I've never seen, and they can change everything. So go see my friends at PellaColumbus.com or check them out at their brand new Polaris showroom.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore his seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-472-2000, 614-472-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-472-2000, 614-472-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Looks like we'll have a breezy afternoon. High temperature today will be around 72. Increasing clouds this evening along with a pop-up shower. Rain chances really pushing tonight. Tonight we drop down to the mid-50s, and then on your Wednesday, temperatures will get up to about 69 under mostly cloudy skies. Rain chances will be very prevalent throughout the day. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Dylan Robichaud on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Helping you ace your afternoon. This is Rothman and Ice.
All right, just to set this up for you, Maddie. So now Aaron Andrews and Carissa Thompson are claiming that they really set up Travis Kelce with, and it may be true, because I guess that back in August of 23, how long have they been dating?
I want to say off the top of my head like a year and some change now. It's been maybe a hair heavy there, but we got them through an entire football season. Prior to that, I don't remember how long that they were officials, but I want to say like a year.
Guys, I think it's a little longer than all of us know. And I just know this because I heard that they had to move. Travis Kelce moved because his old place that he lived in, there was too much paparazzi there that they had to move into a gated community, and that was kind of before it really got mainstream. So I think it's longer than we all realize.
Okay. So I was wrong because my first instinct was, I think Maddie was on this more than I was. I said, let's see if she goes to Lambeau in December. Now, I don't know what she's doing. That was my tiebreaker. She didn't show up to Lambeau in December, but I think she went to
Buffalo for the AFC divisional game.
Buffalo, and she's been in New York, obviously the big cities.
Yeah, she ain't scared of any cold.
Yeah,
she ain't scared.
So
of any
anyway,
cold.
I'll read you this. It says, Aaron Andrews said at the time that she wrote her and said, Taylor, I don't know how she knew her, but Taylor, I don't know what you are doing in your life right now besides rocking the world. Please try our friend Travis. He is fantastic. Go on a date with this guy. Do it for America.
Like he's something on a menu.
Soon right. Give him a try.
Oh, man.
Soon after Swift attended her first Kansas City Chiefs game in September that same year, Kelce thanked Andrews and Carissa Thompson on Instagram after the duo reposted the clip. You two are something else. I owe you big time. So
there we go. Okay, so Mahomes doesn't get as much credit as Thompson and Andrews, is what we just discovered. We got to give them more of the pie instead of Pat just saying I took him to a concert and that he did say some of the credit, but it seems like Aaron and Carissa were the ones that really got this thing cooking. And now here we are.
So then we're out at the Super Bowl, and I think people are asking because remember Taylor was maybe not going to make it to the game, right? She was in Japan. And so there were some questions about that. But then when you were covering Mahomes and I was covering Kelce, we had it all set up. And I asked him about his love for Ohio, especially in Cleveland Heights.
Cleveland Heights, Ohio, man. I got all the pride, man. I still love Cleveland Heights to this day for what that community was for me and still is for me. And the football team had an unbelievable year this year. Shout out to the Heights football, Heights High, baby. And it's just it's been beautiful to see, the kids from that area look at me and Jason a certain way as motivation because I looked at guys growing up like that in the Heights area, and it's just everything that I do is because of the beautiful city of Cleveland Heights.
2008 Heights High grad.
Okay, they gotta love it, right?
All
because
Lake Erie.
They have
quarterback, right?
I believe so. Yeah, because he's talked about that's why the chemistry between he and Pat is so good because he used to play quarterback and he knows where to sit and all the defenses and all that type of stuff. But yeah, Cleveland Heights, they got to be so proud. You got two brothers that are no doubt Hall of Famers that came from your high school, and one of those guys, and Travis is arguably the best to ever do it at that position. He's in that discussion, and Jason was one of the best centers of his time. So yeah, Cleveland Heights has to be on fire, and those guys are repping it. I think I saw that Jason's doing some TV stuff coming up here soon, I believe, with ESPN. That dude's a hoot, man. He's a character. He showed up at WrestleMania or one of the wrestling events here recently. So, yeah, they're one of the most popular brother duos that we've seen in a very long time. The podcast is really good, and those dudes are just absolutely, it seems like a fun time to be around.
The guy that wants to be a fun time to be around here in Columbus, Ohio is Will Howard. Transfers in, and, he went to Kansas State. And he enrolled early. This was back right before the pandemic hit. I think it was early 2020. So he began his freshman year. Remember, he was a backup to Skylar Thompson. Mm-hmm. And so he gets in the game. He was his backup as a sophomore even as well. And all of a sudden he began spring practice as a junior and became their first string quarterback. And remember, Adrian Martinez was
down there too.
Then I don't know if he jumped him. And because he was going to redshirt, I don't think he did. And then Howard when Martinez got injured in a game, Will Howard comes in and led him on like 4 straight touchdown drives or something against Oklahoma State. And here we go. And gets to the end of his line there at Kansas State and goes right into the portal and comes out to Ohio State. And I know people are very, very high on him, but I do think that they're high on so many things except for the fact that can he really control a game with his arm? We don't know that yet. He may not even have to at Ohio State.
No doubt. So Bruce Feldman over at The Athletic, he talked to some coaches, and, we do the anonymous quotes like on the record thing at this portion of the sports calendar. And one Big 12 defensive coach said this about Will. I think he's going to have a monster year. All of a sudden, he's going to have this great supporting cast around here. For a big guy, he is pretty athletic and can run. I don't think he has a crazy strong arm, but he is very accurate and very smart. So when I hear something like that, my mind goes to does this version of Ohio State football this year need Will Howard to have a monster year? And I don't think they do. I don't think they need him to be an all-world type of quarterback, whether it's him or Devin. But since we're talking about Will, we'll keep it there. But if he could just be a steady hand and not goof things up, then I think he's going to stumble into some really good numbers. Like,
a compliment or not?
But I'm just saying, like,
don't goof things up.
Goof it up. Like, I just, that's how I view this year's team. With how good this run game could be, we know the weapons on the outside are legit, especially being led by the veteran in Emeka. This guy just needs to be the definition of a game manager, and that's okay. And if he has big-time moments, which I'm sure he will, then that's fine. But he's never been a guy that's has really carved up a bunch of defenses throughout his career. I mean, you look at what Kyle did last year, and he threw for 3,100 and some change. Will Howard threw for 2,600 yards in a season. That's the most he's thrown for. He's never thrown for more than 2,600 yards in a season, but I think that's okay, because if you get that style of play with him, combined with what I think he can do with his legs, that to me is going to be, I think, a rock-solid quarterback this year. And with the defense and everything else that they're going to have, I think that's going to be perfectly fine. So, Aaron, I don't even know if he needs to have a monster year.
It's almost like if Ryan Day could hand-pick something off a menu. We were talking about, Travis Kelce and Taylor ordering something off a menu. He would order a lot of this. This is a lot of comfort food for Ryan Day, don't you think?
Stick to your ribs.
He's a lot of mashed potatoes, this guy.
Okay,
like, this guy feels to me.
Now we're talking.
Now, whether he's the dessert also, I don't know.
Right.
He may not have to be. They got plenty of guys that can do that, put the whipped cream on top of the sundae for Ohio State.
Sprinkles?
But I do feel sprinkles.
Sprinkles?
I would say that what he builds into, and listen, he's got to keep the job. He's got guys behind him that want to take it.
100%.
But there is a lot of what you said early, which is the willingness to run, tough, big guy, can see the field well, smart, has experience, can change a play at the line because he's been there, done that, has a decent release. And then if he decides to be a big pocket passer and show off his arm outside the numbers, he probably can do that. So I feel like the only way that we'll truly know is when if he's the guy. The one thing I don't think we know is how good will he be when it's playoff time? How good will he be in a semifinal or a championship when maybe teams will set up to try to make him beat him? I don't know that.
Me either.
But right now, he is one of those guys that I think if Ryan Day could say, this is what I was missing intangibly, leadership-wise, guttiness, all that I have it. Now, whether he develops into a championship quarterback, I don't know. But like you said, he may not have to.
He may not have to. I mean, you look at some of the dominant teams that we've seen around college football. Sometimes those squads aren't led by superstar talents. I mean, look at Stetson Bennett and Mac Jones and some of these guys that were good. They were really good, but they weren't at the level of a C.J. Stroud or some of these Heisman winners that we've seen that have absolutely been doing ridiculous things, statistically week in and week out. And you mentioned some of those measuring stick moments are going to come down the line. We're going to get a taste of that, I believe, if he is the guy when they go out to Oregon, because there's going to be a quarterback on the other sideline and Dylan Gabriel that can really spin it with the best of them. Now, that Buckeye secondary and defense may not be having it that day, but there's a chance to where he could be asked to do more. And that's what I can't wait to see is when the chips are down, is Will Howard good enough to spin the football and get this offense rolling and put up points if Dylan Gabriel and those Ducks are going up and down the field. So I think there's a safe floor with him, but to your point, AR, we don't know yet how high the ceiling is with Will or heck even Devin Brown at this point.
The one thing the one guy you dropped there real quickly that I know Will's much taller, he's a different guy, but the throws that Stetson Bennett made late when he had to were big time. And he was a 65, 68% passer late in his career.
And Will's been a career like 61% type of guy. Yeah.
But Stetson, you can call him a lot of things. He is a gamer.
Yeah.
He was a gamer.
And when the phone rang, he answered it. He did answer it for Georgia.
All right. Speaking of quarterbacks, we'll come back with an NFL guy who's looking to remake his mark. Is he going to be on a pitch count? We'll tell you next. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State athletics, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Reggie was a nurse for 16 years.
I had become very burnt out. I wasn't making good money.
Then it happened.
There was an ad for My Computer Career, and it just spoke to me.
My Computer Career was the best decision he ever made.
I could study anywhere from my laptop, and I was working in the first couple of weeks of me being in class.
Reggie hit a home run.
The field is teeming with jobs.
Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
The school is amazing.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu. This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
This offer is only available at Reichert Ford. 0% financing for 72 months on every 2023 Ford F-150 in stock. Take advantage of Reichert's rate before it's too late. Lock in your 0% rate and take a new truck home today. Thousands of vehicles are waiting at ReichertFord.com.
See dealer for details. N6324.
Exclusively at Reichert Ford. 0% for 72 months is now available on every new 23 F-150 in stock. Hundreds of trucks at ReichertFord.com. We're dealing.
Get the right car at Reichert.
We're dealing.
Don't miss the hot deals at the Right Rug Flooring Outlet Super Sale. 2 locations, Poth Road in Whitehall and Hebron Road in Heath. Save up to 80% on truckloads of floors and more, including tiles starting at 19 cents a square foot. Find a massive selection of laminate, luxury vinyl, and carpet, all drastically reduced. Everything for your next project. 24-month financing is available with approved credit. Hurry, the Right Rug Flooring Outlet Super Sale ends June 5th. Dealers welcome.
When it comes to getting a new roof, are you confident letting just anyone on the roof of your home? I'm Craig Schottenstein, owner of Schottenstein Roofing. Our team is dedicated to delivering outstanding value on every roof we repair or replace. Whether residential or commercial, Schottenstein Roofing meets the needs of every customer. From roof installation and repair to siding and gutters, you name it, we do it. Call Schottenstein Roofing, 614-321-8888 to schedule your free inspection today. Go to schottensteinroofing.com.
Sunday is the time for brunching with your favorite people. And when they don't invite you, listen to us instead. Fan Sports Sunday with Tito and Devere Posey.
Sunday morning starting at 11.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and a multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Thoughtfully discussing the merits of Home Run Inn's frozen pizza. This is Rothman and Ice.
All right, we'll do our own version of Party Like a Roth-star at 12:48. We have Joe Burrow nearly fell out a lot of people's top 10, believe it or not, in like fantasy football rankings, not in real life rankings. In fact, I haven't really looked up.
I'd love to know where he's at right now in the minds of a lot of people, because it seems like we're headed down a road of T. Higgins and Jamar Chase will be there. And when those guys are there, Joey B is a baller, as we all know. But there's a lot of quarterbacks that can maybe offer a little bit more in the fantasy realm with their legs and all of those things that I still think he would be in the top 10.
I have him here at 7.
Yeah, that feels
and one that
appropriate.
I trust. But I'm trying to look and see if I'm there and I've got to take a quarterback. Let's say although in our league it's always everyone reaches for a quarterback. You just don't want to get stuck with
a bum.
Well, and I don't even know who would be a bum. Maybe CB would tell us Deshaun Watson, don't wait for him, or Trevor Lawrence even. Do you trust Trevor right now?
Yeah.
The other guys to wait for, I would think. The wait for quarterback, and this is really, I don't think you could wait too long, but I think kind of the middle one would be Goff. And then I think the other one might be Kirk Cousins. Now that, right?
Yeah,
just dump it off to Bijan, has some targets. I feel like he might be the wait for quarterback. I don't know if I trust Herbert with the lack of weapons right now.
Well, and Herbert, too, he might be in a situation this year where I don't know if he's going to be putting the ball up that much with the way Harbaugh likes to run his operations. He's a run-heavy type of guy. So with Herbert, you remove...
Definitely have Burrow above him.
And to your point, you remove Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and Austin Eckler in the same offseason. That could get a little funky.
Here are the guys that I might put ahead of Burrow, which wouldn't be popular to do. Jordan Love. Or Tua Tagovailoa. It wouldn't be popular to do it, but I might be willing to do it.
Because with all three, they're not runners. They can get it done here and there, but you're not looking at those Josh Allen, Lamar, Kyler Murray type of games where you may get 50, 60 yards from your quarterback and a touchdown on the ground.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Would you have the guts to take Anthony Richardson over Joe Burrow in fantasy?
I'm that high.
So I'm trying to think of guys I would put above him. So here would be where you'd probably rank this. Although Lamar has Derrick Henry now.
Yeah.
And so that might limit me wanting to take him in the top 2 or 3 quarterbacks.
And your boy has Saquon now.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts down in Philly.
Right.
So and it's interesting, right? I'm glad you brought that up because
Josh Allen doesn't have much.
He might just go crazy because he's going to be asked to do so much. But I'm glad you brought up Lamar and Jalen Hurts because 2 guys that people covet in fantasy football now have horses at the running back position.
So this might go, if we did fantasy quarterback rankings right this moment, it might go Patrick Mahomes, CJ Stroud. It could. Probably not over a runner like Lamar. I think a lot of people might say, no, I got to have those legs. Or Josh Allen. I got to have those rushing touchdowns. You know how much we love those. And Jalen could give you some too. But it's tough. It would be tough to take Stroud over Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen right now. But I could see somebody doing it.
Yeah,
but I think we've come to the realization that Joe Burrow is still a top 10 fantasy quarterback.
That's where I'm at. Where I'm at. I'm with you.
You were going to say something about Jordan Love.
No, Jordan Love... I need to see more before I start taking him before the Tuas and Joey B's. They look great, man, coming down the stretch. They really did. It was a young core that's probably only going to get better.
You had Purdy.
I did have Purdy. That worked out well, man. He was just efficient. He was efficient. It was a window of time where it wasn't great, but then he rebounded. So Purdy just within that offense with all those weapons, he's going to hit you with a couple touchdowns a week, and may not be 330 or anything crazy, but Purdy's he's pretty solid.
Where could I get Jared Goff right now in a 14-team league? I have to take him in the second round to get him.
I was going to say third. He feels to me like a top
30
15 quarterback. I think he's in the top 15.
Oh, definitely in the top 15.
But I would want to wait until the third round. But I don't know if
you want to get stuck.
If you can. I know. That's a dangerous game. It's an absolutely dangerous game.
Here's the biggest question of all, and I can't believe I missed it. Where would people draft Aaron Rodgers this year?
Oh, my.
You either get completely scared off or he's there late and you're like, this is the guy. I got to roll the dice. Now, you'd have to draft 2 quarterbacks. You'd have to have a backup.
Yeah.
You'd have to have Aaron Rodgers and
if you're in a league like ours where there's
Justin Fields.
If there's
that.
14 teams, then I would suggest that. But if you're in a 10-team league, I think you could there's going to be quarterbacks out there that you can maybe
Aaron Rodgers
pick
and
up.
J.J. McCarthy.
I'm not scared to take Aaron Rodgers or Kirk Cousins this year. I'm not.
All Achilles team?
Give me all the bum Achilles I can get right now. But I think with the weaponry around both, I could see Aaron Rodgers cooking this year.
So back to Burrow. We both have him probably ranked 7 or 8, probably in fantasy. Probably somewhere around there. I don't think I would put Who would I not? Oh, would I take Dak over him? Especially if Dak is going to be going into some free agent
Dak's
wild year.
Dak's been getting crapped on all off season, but the dude finished second in the MVP last year. Like, we can't forget that. Like, I know the playoff game against Green Bay was nasty. It was not a good look at all for him or that defense, but he's a baller, man. He's good. He's got to show it when it counts more. I'm with everybody on that, but statistically, Dak's going to pop off with some numbers.
So Burrow, unfortunately, we all know had the injury, the horrible injury riddled 2023. So it started with the calf strain. Then I don't know if he was rushed back for the start. I mean, he felt like he was good to go. The only way he was going to know was to test it for real. I kept saying 1,000,000 times, if he knows he's running from A to B, he won't hurt it. It's when he knows he has to run from A to I don't know where because someone is breathing down my neck.
Guess what? You're going to say it 1,000,000 more times because of Kirk Cousins and Aaron Rodgers.
So then, even worse, he has the torn ligament in his wrist on his throwing hand. So now, fully healthy, we know what we've seen with him. He is incredible, and he's a potential MVP kind of guy. And what you read today, what you've been telling me, is that they feel probably better about him than the Browns feel about Deshaun.
So they've got OTA starting this week down in the Natty, and this is coming from their new offensive coordinator, Mr. Pitcher, and it's saying, quote, "We designed the whole thing to stay within the constraints of where the medical people think he should be and where he wants to be right now. Nobody is sitting there with a special pitch counter, but we've been smart how we've put things together." He also said that Burrow currently has all his range and power. So that's very encouraging to hear. And this is all you could ask for right now, I think, if you're a Bengal fan, because you mentioned a couple of the injuries, and it just has seemed like going back to 2020, every offseason going into training camp or coming out of mandatory minicamp, this guy's been banged up. He hasn't had a clean runway to go into the season rolling. And in some instances, it's hurt them. They got off to slow starts, and they found a way to recover and be a really good team in the postseason and all that. But you just got to wonder what they could be to start the year, and especially when we're looking at an AFC that I think a lot of us think is going to be very crowded with how many good teams that there are, and you're going to be competing for those playoff slots and seeding and all those things. And the Bengals in their building probably believe they can be a 1 seed. So early on in the process, you want to start racking up as many dubs as possible. But to hear right now that he can go out there, AR, and make all the throws and do all the running around, that's very encouraging.
I like their schedule. I like it a lot this year. I think, with him being healthy, this is minimum a 10-win team. It just, minimum. The fact that, they have to go to Kansas City in week 2, but we know his history against KC. But to have New England at home and Washington at home and Carolina, they'll get Baltimore at home. They get to go to the Giants. That's their first 6 weeks.
Just some quarterback play on paper right now.
Now, you do have to go to Cleveland, and we know that they've had their issues with Cleveland. Yep. But they're back home against Philly, back home against the Raiders, going into the bye at Baltimore at the Chargers. So 11 weeks before their buys at a really good time, week 12. At least I like it on paper. And so if I put them at 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, they could be 7-4 at worst, I think, going into their bye week.
I agree with you, man, because you're talking the Mac Jones of the world and, some of these, not Mac Jones, I'm talking Drake May and maybe Jacoby Brissett early on and Jaden Daniels and Bryce Young, guys that are either, veteran quarterbacks that we know what they can do or young guys that are massive question marks. This Bengal defense should be able to get after some people, but that offense, there's not a ton of depth at the wide receiver position that I think you're really confident in. But as long as you have Higgins and Chase out there healthy, then you're going to be able to do what we've seen them do, and that's going to be spread you out, make you play in space, and hopefully your DBs are going to have a good day.
Their over-under's 10.5 wins. It's a good number.
It really is.
I'd go over. I'd say if I would lean over.
I think that's where I'm at too, I think.
If they can get to 7 wins before their break, I think they're good.
Yeah.
All right, we'll come back with our Memorial Day weekend version of Party Like a Roth-star. Next, Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Billiards Plus has everything for the master griller in your house. Come to their showroom, open the lid, and feel the difference in their grills. Professional top quality equipment at great prices with a huge selection ready to go home with you. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Grab life by the chicken fingers and savor the day with hand-battered, cook-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and that secret cane sauce that makes everything that much better.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
She posted about us just now.
Celebrities can't get enough of Be Honest Bespoke skincare line.
She has 147 million followers. How do we monetize?
She needs a social media associate to help her with the hype.
We should repost this. Do we need a hashtag?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Seasons change. Why not your tech? Upgrade now during the Dell Technologies Summer Sale event and save on select PCs like the XPS 16 powered by Intel Core processors. You'll be able to bring your most intensive projects to life with built-in AI, minimalistic design, immersive visuals, and cinematic audio. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to exceptional tech and electronics plus free shipping on everything. Amazing prices await you for a limited time only at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Common Man and T-Bone.
I've declared it. It's you can't awesome. Declare. Show's great.
You can't declare this early.
It's great. This is the fourth show that's been great my entire career. No, 4.
Stop it.
Common Man and T-Bone.
Sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company.
Weekdays 3 to 6 on The Fan.
Are you not able to enjoy the summer as much as you want because of joint pain? This is the time of year for being outdoors. It's the best, but not if your knees, shoulders, hips, or back are hurting. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Don't suffer any longer. Non-surgical joint pain relief is here at QC Kinetics. Call them today. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. I'm talking about lasting pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and best of all, no downtime. QC Kinetics advanced treatments harness your own body's biologics and help restore and repair damaged joint tissue so you can walk, run, hike, play golf, move, swim, all pain-free. QC Kinetics is under the leadership of former orthopedic surgeon Dr. Mitchell Sheencup, a true pioneer in regenerative medicine. They have locations in Columbus, in both Gahanna and Dublin. Their advanced protocols have enabled tens of thousands of patients to reclaim their mobility. So go check them out at QCKinetics/Columbus or give them a call, 380-208-4544.
I need directions for paying down debt.
Starting route. Apply for a SoFi personal loan and consolidate your debt into one fixed payment. Turn right into a positive outlook and get $5,000 to $100,000 as soon as the same day you sign with no fees required.
Got it. You could get out of high-interest credit card debt with a SoFi personal loan. View your rate at SoFi.com/debt in 60 seconds with no impact to your credit score. Loans originated by SoFi Bank N.A. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions at SoFi.com/debt. NMLS 696891.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore a seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Let's all gather into the Kiki. It's time to party like a Rothstar.
All right, Ice partied like a Rothstar this weekend.
Really did.
He's still feeling it. Still leaking out of his pores.
You know what? You're right, because I had to get up this morning and get a sauna session in. Because it was
Sweat
like,
it out.
I just, after what I've been doing since Friday until Monday, I need to sit in the sun.
Okay. I'll let you lead it off, my man.
I am starting in the NBA, and I'm starting with a guy whose season is over, but I don't care because I was impressed. As you know, Boston Celtics swept out the Indiana Pacers, but I'm going with Andrew Nembhard. Andrew Nembhard, the last two games, this dude didn't even average 10 points all season long. And what happened? Indiana came back to the crib. They found out their best player, and Tyrese Halliburton, is now dealing with an injury. He didn't play in the last 2 games. But going back to game 3, Andrew Nembhard gave it everything he had. 32 points, 9 assists, 4 rebounds, only 2 turnovers in that game. He shot 57% from both the field and the three-point line. He woke up yesterday knowing our season is on the line. And it was a massive question mark for me. Can he do it again? Can the Pacers get another star performance from what has been a role player all year long? And he had a solid game yesterday as well. 24 points, 10 assists, 6 rebounds, only 3 turnovers on the game, and shot 50% from 3 and 55% from the field. Really impressed with Andrew Nembhard. He was just drafted a couple years ago in the 2nd round out of Gonzaga. Their season is over, but this dude should be holding his head high because he was out there hooping. Andrew Nembhard for the Indiana Pacers, partying like a Rothstar.
Very nice. I'll start on the ice, talking about a guy. Bake might be able to get this one. I'm talking about a guy drafted in the 1st round, 14th overall, back in the 2013 NHL entry draft by your Columbus Blue Jackets. He was bought out, signed as a free agent in Florida by their, at that time, new general manager, Billy Zito, who was formerly part of our organization as an assistant GM. This guy left the Panthers as a free agent. He was targeted by an expansion team. That expansion team was the Seattle Kraken back in the summer of 21. The Kraken then traded him to the Rangers. Now let me take you back to present day. Sunday, it was Blue Jacket on Blue Jacket crime in overtime. Rangers-Panthers. I'm talking about a 29-year-old from Stockholm, Sweden named Alexander Wenberg. And he deflected a puck past Sergei Bobrovsky to be the hero of Game 3. So it gave the Rangers a 2-1 lead after dropping Game 1. Wenberg, I think, had 1 goal in his first 30 or 31 games with the Rangers, and he was the hero in the playoffs. So, Alex Wenberg, as we continue to develop players for other teams, you are party like a Rothstar.
Is that a good thing?
Yeah, we like to be good developing squad.
Blue Jackets New York is what we got up there.
Second candidate for me. As you know, we're all big fans of Paul Skeens on this show. Even though I'm a Reds fan, I can't help but respect the guy. I'm here to tell you about what may be the next Paul Skeens coming out of the collegiate ranks. You got the collegiate baseball regionals about to pop off this weekend. Let's go down to Arkansas, Fayetteville, because I need to tell you about Hagen Smith. Last year, Paul Skeens at LSU, 1.69 ERA. Dude only gave up 23 earned runs, had 209 strikeouts. Hagen Smith for the old Razorbacks this year, a 9-1 record, a 1.48 ERA, and this dude has been striking out everybody. He's got 154 Ks, only 13 earned runs all year long. If you're into baseball, if you're into finding out who the next stars are going to be, look out for Arkansas this weekend, because this guy gives me Madison Bumgarner vibes, and nobody has touched him all year long. Hagen Smith, the ace for the Arkansas Razorbacks, partying like a Roth-star all season.
All right, when you're going after your first individual title in the PGA Tour, probably the last guy you want in your pairing is the number 1 player in the world, Scottie Scheffler. But Davis Riley, who had 1 team events. He won the Junior Ryder Cup. He won the Palmer Cup while he was at Bama. Last year, he won the Zurich in New Orleans with his partner, Nick Hardy, but never out there, all on his own until this weekend when he took a 4-shot lead into the final 18 holes on Scheffler. He even bogeyed the second hole, and suddenly Scheffler was only 3 back. Vegas absolutely cleaned up this weekend, raking in money on all the winning bets on Scheffler and him not winning. Because getting him 4 back, everyone thought was easy money. I don't know if he was plus money, I can't remember. But everyone was like, put everything you can on Scheffler, swallowing up this guy named Davis Riley, who there's no way he could hold it, right? But he birdied on 4, got the lead back to 5. No one ever got within 4 of him again all day. Even par 70, he beat Scheffler. This season, by the way, he was playing so poorly that half his cuts so far, entering this week, I think he was 150th. In the FedEx Cup standings. He had only 1 top 25, and he had to fend off Scheffler of all guys. But all you needed was 1 good week. Get Scheffler. That's the confidence booster. His bank account gets boosted about $1.67 million.
That works.
His sister also had some kind of medical emergency the week before, and he wasn't sure if he was even going to be able to play these past 2 weeks because of whatever was going on with his sister. Wow. So even more impressive.
It's incredible. Wasn't it like tumor or something that they felt was...
Yeah, like she was having seizures and they found a tumor or something like that.
Okay. And he won his first individual event. He beat Scheffler in the process.
Last guys for me. I'm going JT and JB. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown for the Boston Celtics, because these guys, you want your stars to show up when it's time to shut the door on somebody, and that's exactly what they did. Last couple games for Jason Tatum, 36 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists. Yesterday, 26 points, 13 rebounds, and 8 assists. Again, Mr. Brown, 24 points in game 3 with 3 assists and 2 rebounds. And then last night, I'll bring it home for us on 50% shooting, 29, 6, 2, 3 steals, and a block. These guys have been knocking on the door for years. The Stars brought it home yesterday, and now they're on to the finals again. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, partying like a Roth-star.
All right, final one for me. IndyCar has a new $4 million man, record-breaking cash for the guy who joined a very elite club, now multi-winners of the Indy 500, both in down-to-the-wire, last lap pass type stuff. Team Penske driver Joseph Newgarden won the 108th running of the greatest spectacle in racing. He pairs that by winning the 107th. It was unbelievable. So the eye-popping winnings, not only does he get that, but they're padding it with $440,000, which is the rollover bonus from Borg Warner that has been growing for 22 years, ever since Helio Castroneves went back-to-back 22 years ago. So that money kept rolling over. So now he gets all that, and he's 33. He's from Tennessee. He resets the bank. He was passed by Pato O'Ward late, and then he repassed on the outside. I don't know how he had the grip to get around him, but he did. Only 2 turns left. Takes the checkers for the second year in a row at Indy. Joseph Newgarden, partying like a Roth-star for sure. Milk was a good choice for him. We will come back.
Elite milk.
We'll do a SportsCenter update top of the hour. And this team was first against the pass, first in total yards against, yet somehow they feel they can be better. Find out who they are next. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan.
Hey, it's Anthony here for the Good Feet store. You know, we do a segment on the show every week called Pressure, but that's about sports. What about the pressure your feet endure every day? I know mine did. When I went to the Good Feet store, I learned I was out of line. I joked, I already know that. They said, no, physically, my feet weren't being supported the right way. So when I went to the store on Polaris Parkway, they also have one on Stringtown Road, I took all the time I needed to walk around the store to see what felt and fit the best in my shoes. Once I had them in, my personal arch supports from the Good Feet store, my lower back pain went away. What a feeling. You need to get your free personalized fitting by one of their arch support specialists. For arch supports to be effective, they require precision fit. That's why Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store. You like them? You can wear them home. You have nothing to lose but the pain. So go to goodfeet.com today or go in and try the Good Feet feeling. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief, all from the Good Feet store.
Hats off to all the 2024 graduates. Whether they're stepping into the next chapter of their lives or reaching a significant milestone, they deserve something extraordinary. At Diamonds Direct, you can shop for gifts under $1,000. From stunning diamond pieces to timeless pearls, this selection is the perfect way to recognize their dedication and success. Each piece is crafted with care and attention to detail, making it the perfect way to commemorate their graduation day. Consider a dazzling birthstone pendant showing off the qualities that make them who they are. Or perhaps classic diamond studs to complement the graduation attire and serve as a lasting reminder of this achievement. At Diamonds Direct, we understand the importance of honoring milestones, and we're here to help you find the perfect gift. This graduation season, let Diamonds Direct be your partner in celebrating their journey. Diamonds Direct, where milestones shine brighter. Explore our grad gifts in store or online at diamondsdirect.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Matt Andrews. The Celtics completed the Eastern Conference final sweep, beating Indiana yesterday 105-102. Here's Jason Tatum, Celtics forward, talking about sweeping the series and going to the finals.
It's special, right? Even though we've been there before, most of us have, you don't take it for granted, right? We were excited. It was a hell of a team we just played. They made us earn every single game, and we're extremely grateful to, move on to the finals.
Western Conference Finals tonight. Minnesota's at Dallas at 8:30. Dallas goes for a sweep in that series. Stanley Cup playoffs last night, Western Conference Final. Dallas leads Edmonton 2-1 with a 5-3 win. That series resumes Wednesday tonight in the East Finals. New York's at Florida at 8 o'clock. The Rangers lead that series 2-1. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Perfect afternoon parlay. This is Rothman and Ice.
Second hour of the program, Gary Gramling, NFL managing editor at The Athletic. At 1:33, Rothman and Ice. I was so wrong about the T-Wolves, man. I feel like that their championship was knocking off Denver. Well, and that was a huge deal. I almost feel like and I'm taking anything away from Dallas. They've been very good. Kyrie and Luka have been awesome. Mm-hmm. They needed to win that game where Luka beat them on the game winner. That's a game they had to have. But I felt like they were such a dangerous, you don't know what you don't know kind of team that they were too new to even be nervous. And I was like, now I have to come to the conclusion that when you knock off the defending champ and you do it in Game 7 at their place, whatever hangover was going to be there has hung them over.
You and I have been watching the NBA and everybody for a while. And more times than not, the young team doesn't get it done as far as going all the way. Like, you got to take your medicine at some point in time. We saw it with the Celtics a couple years ago, right? They were knocking on the door, got to the finals, and who'd they have to deal with? Steph Curry, Draymond, Clay, a team that had been to the mountaintop a few times, and now here they are again. And for Ant and company, like, you saw it in Game 1. And honestly, I don't know if it helped either, where Ant was kind of calling out Kyrie coming out of the series, and in game number 1, Kyrie just came out and was cooking everybody. And look, Kyrie, Luka, these guys are seasoned vets at this point. Obviously, Kyrie, we were right in the eye of the storm with he and LeBron and the Cavs when they were, going to the finals and winning the chip and all those good things. And Luka's been just an absolute force for years. So, they'll be around for a while. But right now, this is you're taking that Robitussin right now. It doesn't taste too good going down, but maybe in the past, that'll make you feel good when you get into, some more playoff series, and hopefully you can come out on the other side. But, they've been getting dominated in this one. And Luka and Kyrie, as you mentioned, are just absolutely ridiculous. And I don't know how you guard Kyrie Irving. You just can't guard the man.
Yeah, and listen, they're in the games. I mean, the first 2 games were toss-ups. Right. They lose a game by a point, and they lose a game by 3. Mm-hmm. Like, their first 2 losses were by a combined 4 points, so they've been in them. And this last game, they were in it. Even at Dallas, they were certainly right there. Mm-hmm. But, it feels, now it's destiny. Now it's Dallas against Boston, and I think it's the right series. Man, it's a really good one. And
Kyrie going back to Boston.
It's going to be great.
Drama. Yeah. Oh, my God. The fans are going to be on.
And you feel like that the pressure will all be on Boston, even though Boston said, well, if we don't make to the finals, it'll be a failure. Now they've made the finals. Mm-hmm. So no one can call it a failure if they lose to Dallas. Right. Like, I don't think they would, especially with the way Luke and Kyrie are playing.
I don't know.
Do you call it a failure after all because of the regular season?
I just think with the way they started the year, ran through the regular season, and to this point, kind of not had much resistance in the postseason either. I think if it were Denver, people would be like, okay, you know what? We can understand that. But I think when it's Dallas still, because I hear
failure though,
I think that's where we're going to be at, just because of the roster that they've put together. And this just speaks to the point of like the pressure of just cashing in, right? No matter what sport we're talking about, when you get these type of teams that are this good and you get there, because you just never know what's coming on the other side. We just got done talking about the Bengals. Like, that was a team, like, the last couple of years, you just felt like, hey, we're going back to the AFC title game. We're going back to the Super Bowl, and you get injuries that pop up and guys that are, disgruntled about contracts or whatever it may be. And it's just, you don't know exactly what every year or how every year is going to unfold. So for Boston, there's just so much pressure on them to win this, and especially when you have the Jason Tatum, Jaylen Browns of the world that are superstars.
Tatum played well against them this year. He's done. In the games he played Dallas, he showed up. But you're right. It's going to be a great series.
I think so too.
Yeah. I'm mad that Halliburton was injured. I thought that maybe they wouldn't get swept away, and we'll find out. We got that game tonight. Is that what?
Yeah, 8:30 tonight on TNT. Game number 4 down in Dallas. Wonder what the line is on that tonight.
Bucket
for Dallas.
Yeah, or less than a bucket. Yeah, I looked at it.
Okay.
It's just you're either betting against the no sweep or sweep, right? Will they have enough? Right. The problem is the game's on the road, and you're just kind of, why would I bet against Dallas now? Unless they somehow just take their foot off the gas, knowing that they're up 3-0. You never want to do it. Luke has been talking about nothing's done yet. Well, let's not be that team that blows the 3-0. But you can talk yourself into it enough. But being at home, it feels like a coronation, like you've already won it before you've taken the floor.
Yeah.
That you do have to be careful a little bit of that. So you and I would know. It'd be only guys that cover the team that cover Minnesota that would know. They would only know whether there's something there where they feel like we're not getting swept.
I think the dangerous thing here is if you are Dallas and you let this one slip, then you kind of get that, okay.
The Denver vibes.
Yes, this is a team that just surprised everybody by crawling out of a massive hole. And they have the confidence in their locker room. They have the confidence in their locker room to say, we've overcome some adversity against what seems to be a much better team. So, I think, and especially when you look at the rest that you get on the other side, when you're Luka and you're a little banged up right now, like, they're going to come out and put their best foot forward. But, it should be a good game. Again, because to your point, the 3-0 kind of representation on paper of what the series is right now, I don't really think is really how it shines a light on how good the series has been, because there has been a couple good games baked inside this 3-0 lead by Dallas.
We talked before the break about the Browns defense, and I went back and looked at those stats, and they certainly were the top defense in the NFL last season. But it was in several categories, but I really wanted to go and see exactly where they were. So you bring in Jim Schwartz, you go back to number 1, and when they do defensive EPA, like expected points allowed and 3 and outs forced, like, that's real good inside football stuff, right? 3 and outs, there's nothing better for a defense than a 3 and out other than a pick six or a turnover. And then Myles Garrett gets Defensive Player of the Year, and you get, Denzel goes to the Pro Bowl and JOK goes to the Pro Bowl, and the Browns won 11 games and got to the playoffs for only the third time, since they came back.
With the guy that's not getting paid $230 million.
Right. And you look at their defense, and a lot of the key guys are back, and it's one of those things. So I looked at it, Maddie. So they were first against the pass, first in total yards. They were 13th in points allowed, which really isn't bad. I mean, it's 21 a game in the NFL. But they were 11th against the run. That was which is fine, right? It's top third of the league. I mean, none of these stats.
It's a good little report
It's
card.
a nice little. There's no weakness is the point. There's no real weakness.
Yeah.
And now the other thing I would point to, and I went back to look at this, the Browns defense is going to face a better schedule than they did last year. I think that's real. So when you think about the league's top quarterbacks, you brought this up in a couple segments ago. So in 2023, I'm looking here, the Browns saw how many quarterbacks do you believe who finished top 12 in QBR?
I'm going to say they faced 7 of those guys.
Bake, what do you think? 2023, Browns against top 12 QBRs. who finished top 12 QBR. Not at the time they were playing him, but finished. How many?
I don't think the number's very high. I would say 4, and I think a lot of them did well against them.
So it's only 3.
Ooh.
So think about that. Lamar, Brock Purdy, and Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
This year, they're going to play 7. Now, we're not all afraid of them because of the team around them. 7. There are going to be 7 quarterbacks they'll face who ranked in top 12 in QBR.
Hold on, CJ wasn't in the top 12 in QBR?
Not that unless my stats were wrong. You would think he would be. I would have guessed he would have been.
Yeah,
you would think he would be.
That's surprising.
I'll double check that. Appreciate you keeping me on my toes. I've got him against Lamar, Dak, Herbert, Mahomes, Tua, Hurts. And you add Burrow to the mix back. So let's just add him in there. And
in the regular season, it looks like they got Davis Mills. CJ he didn't play in that game.
There you go.
That's what it was.
So it's a Davis Mills show, and he was 15 for 32, a $149 and 2 touchdowns. So no CJ in the regular season, but they got him in the postseason.
Right. So we were both on it, just for different reasons.
Yeah, but Bake was close. It was a good guess by him.
Browns also, you're gonna get Trevor Lawrence again, and then you're gonna get Jaden Daniels. So we really don't know what he's gonna be about. But when you think about who they feasted on, Maddie, they feasted on at home Tannehill, who winds up losing the starting job. Clayton Tune. Who was a placeholder for Kyler Murray, Trevor Siemian, because of Aaron Rodgers going down, and obviously Zach Wilson's concussion. So the big point in all of this is to be a better defense, they're going to have to do it against better quarterbacks.
No question. And it's easier said than done, but I think they have the personnel to do it. And I think we got Kevin Stefanski talking about maybe what the defense could be this year.
We want to be better on defense. There are plays that we feel were left out there. I think if you talk to Coach as he watches the tape over the course of the season, he was surprised we were able to stop anybody. You know, he feels like we can be so much better. Some of that comes from different things we can adjust. Some of that comes from putting guys in positions to go make plays. But we are in no way satisfied on defense.
And that's great to hear. And everybody's coming back, and they're going to, not everybody, but the majority of that defense will be back. You got some new faces on that second level with Jordan Hicks, but he's a guy that played under Jim Schwartz when they were both in Philadelphia. So he's going to be comfortable in this defense. I just like the fact that on every single level, there's a star player. And you mentioned them, Miles, JOK, and Denzel Ward. And there's some other good players, obviously, up and down that defense, right? And especially that secondary. Newsome to pair with Emerson and Ward. Like, that unit right there, and you just pair that with one of the best pass rushers and one of the best defensive players in the sport in Myles Garrett, then this should be really...
They're loaded.
They're loaded. Yeah. This, again, should be a very, very good defense, and we'll see what a guy like Mike Hall can do as a former Buckeye that can maybe help you out on third down and get in the middle of that defensive line and create some static. So that's not the unit I'm concerned about, honestly. I think the defense, again, is going to be in that top 5, top 10 this year, and as long as you get that, you're going to give your offense a chance to win a bunch of games. And so when at the end of the day, it all funnels back to Deshaun Watson and what are we getting out of the run game with the question around Nick Chubb.
They won't have to face Stroud again next year, at least this year during the regular season. Hopefully, maybe get another shot at him in the playoffs. But, yeah, their defense to be a number one again, they're just going to have to level up, and they kind of know it. I'm glad they're controlling that narrative because of looking at their schedule. It starts right away, trying to defend that Dallas.
In the end, the end stretch run is pretty tough too. Like starting December 8th at Pittsburgh on down. It's Steelers, Chiefs, Bengals, Dolphins, and the Ravens. So they're going to have to earn it at the very end.
The good news is they'll get Miami in Cleveland December 29th.
Yeah, Tua and the Dolphins
will
probably be frozen. They won't be able to run fast.
For really bad weather. All right, we'll come back and we'll change tunes a little bit, Clayton. We'll go with, robots are poised to take over. They are poised and ready maybe for one sport. Is that good or bad? We'll let you know next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, it's Anthony here for the Good Feet store. You know, we do a segment on the show every week called Pressure, but that's about sports. What about the pressure your feet endure every day? I know mine did. When I went to the Good Feet store, I learned I was out of line. I joked, I already know that. They said, no, physically, my feet weren't being supported the right way. So when I went to the store on Polaris Parkway, they also have one on Stringtown Road, I took all the time I needed to walk around the store to see what felt and fit the best in my shoes. Once I had them in, my personal arch supports from the Good Feet store, my lower back pain went away. What a feeling. You need to get your free personalized fitting by one of their arch support specialists. For arch supports to be effective, they require precision fit. That's why Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store. You like them? You can wear them home. You have nothing to lose but the pain. So go to goodfeet.com today or go in and try the Good Feet feeling. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief, all from the Good Feet store.
She posted about us just now.
Celebrities can't get enough of Be Honest bespoke skincare line.
She has 147 million followers. How do we monetize?
She needs a social media associate to help her with the hype.
We should repost this. Do we need a hashtag?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Seasons change. Why not your tech? Upgrade now during the Dell Technologies Summer Sale event and save on select PCs like the XPS 16 powered by Intel Core processors. You'll be able to bring your most intensive projects to life with built-in AI, minimalistic design, immersive visuals, and cinematic audio. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to exceptional tech and electronics plus free shipping on everything. Amazing prices await you for a limited time only at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Rise and shine, jabronis.
What a show this morning.
There's only one place where Buckeye legends lay the smackdown. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekday mornings starting at 6.
Give me a juice box,
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
I think one of the things that patients don't realize is that when they get a joint replacement, that's not a lifetime treatment option. And they're probably, if they are a younger patient, signing up for multiple surgeries down the road.
As a physician and medical director for QC Kinetics, Dr. Caravelli's seen a pattern of trending joint pain. Prolonged medication, steroids, then surgery, possibly another surgery.
So a lot of our patients are trying to avoid or put off surgery, and this is the treatment that can help them do that.
QC Kinetics extracts your body's healing substances, concentrates them back into your aching joints to help heal and restore those areas, providing lasting relief.
Oh, I love being able to tell my patients, before we do this surgery, let's try another option. Let's see if this is right for you, because now they might not have to have surgery at all.
Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Glow Fiber Business is now in Ohio, and your business is our priority. Glow Fiber delivers reliably fast, custom, and prepackaged internet plans to meet the growing needs of your business. And our dependable 24/7 personal support means your business stays connected. Glow Fiber is here, and we mean business. Find out more at 833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiberbusiness.com today. Glow Fiber Business is not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see increasing clouds today. The best chance of rain will be north of Interstate 70. We're going 72 for the high today. Winds will be gusting upwards of 20 miles per hour. Tonight, we drop down to the mid-50s, and then on your Wednesday, look for scattered showers with highs around 70. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Dylan Robichaud on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Their live golf team name is Ice Dogs. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
No, a little Browns chatter weighing in. Maybe we praised the defense a little too much, according to one of my boys.
Mad Max?
No, not Mad Max. Okay. My boy SK. Stats are deceiving. The D sucked on the road, not existed during the playoff game. Texan wide receivers were wide blank open.
Listen, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
He left out the back-to-back pick sixes by Flacco, but
yeah,
all right.
I know. I hear you, but that's the put up or shut up time. Yeah. And when you're a Browns fan, like, all right, we enjoyed the journey. Yeah. Now here we are in the postseason. Let's see you rise up against one of the best young cores offensively. And they didn't answer the call, but what you're talking about is two back-breaking plays there by Flacco as he, led a nice little unit for a while there offensively. So I hear him on that. And defense, you obviously want it to travel, and more times than not, it does, and they didn't show up in spots. But I think if we were ranking defensive units going into 2024, for me, the Browns would be very high.
They are, and I think they got out-schemed and they got outplayed, and it happens. They completely just fell on their faces in that. But
Sorry, that sounds like a guy that's been a long-suffering Browns fan.
Long-suffering. No. Yeah, well, some haven't been around forever, but...
Aren't they all?
What is that, on a continuous loop? Goodness, I have it in my thing. I'm like, I may have looped it. Here's the deal. I go back and think about that game, and I think about Nico Collins, and I think about him being 6'4", and I think about him going against Newsome, and I think about them picking on Ronnie Hickman, who was a rookie safety, undrafted, and I think about him trying to stay with Dalton Schultz, and I think they got outcrafted by guys that are really good.
You have to give the Texans credit.
You have to.
And you got to give their offensive coordinator credit. And Bobby Slowick, that's
doubt.
A guy that they played him earlier. He's one of these hot up-and-coming offensive coordinators. Is probably going to be a head coach here in the near future. He adjusted to what he saw previously, and they got into the postseason. And he out-schemed Jim Schwartz in spots. You got to give them credit, too. Those dudes can go. And that's why we're talking about the Houston Texans coming into this year as probably one of the most potent units that we're going to see on offense in the league again.
Yeah. They arm tackled. It wasn't great. Yeah. They were on skates a little bit. I remember when you had JOK and Okoronkwo trying to chase Stroud, remember, play-action rollout with Stroud was really good that day. And if you don't stick with a tight end, and because, by the way, a lot of those guys are looking to stay in and block, and guess who thought they would stay in and block? JOK. Yeah. So he goes after Stroud, and all of a sudden we got a guy's open, and then he's running through an arm tackle by Emerson. Remember, though, the game was still gettable. It really was. It was the interceptions. Now, they kept on making mistakes. When you can't slow down Stroud, and it seemed like that happened. Schwartz did not make a lot of adjustments. I'll give him that. I thought that especially in coverage, that they didn't adjust. So if you're going to single high safety, we probably need Tyvus to have this conversation. If you're going to do that all the time during the regular season, and you're running single high on Stroud, he torched them doing that. So what happened to the Browns is they lived and died by the sword that got him there until the guy that stole the sword and plunged it in was C.J. Stroud.
I just remember watching that run of Joe Flacco, like, what is happening? Like, how is this happening? I mean, you're talking about from week 13 down 254, 311, 374, like 368. This man was on fire until he wasn't. But that whole storyline last year was just absolutely insane because that's what Browns fans have been really, just yearning for, is to have a quarterback get in there and maybe not put up those crazy numbers all the time because you don't need to do that when you have this defense. But that Joe Flacco experience is something I'll never forget. And he went on his way to win comeback player of the year in the NFL. Like it was crazy, but it did end in bitter fashion. Like I understand that from a Browns fan, but I do think flipping the page to this year, if the defense isn't really good, I'm going to be shocked. Yeah. I'm going to be shocked.
They got to be. They have to be.
They will be.
I agree. what you didn't expect, and I don't think anybody did. I didn't. I know you didn't. We both picked the Browns to win a close one that day. I remember it vividly. They went up against a 22-year-old quarterback, and nobody that young had ever won a playoff game in the Super Bowl era. He did it to the best defense in the league in the regular season. That wasn't by smoke and mirrors. They did some stuff, and then with his talent, they weren't expecting it. And they never adjusted out of it, like I said. Mm-hmm. And then when they threw that single high up there again, he just picked them apart. And so you got to live with it. I remember Newsom after the game saying, this can't be real. Oh, it's real, all right.
Season's over,
and it was
bro.
spectacular for them. No, that's exactly what happened. But I'm glad that he questioned the stats versus reality. I think it's a little bit of both. Mm-hmm. I think that they're a very, very good defensive team. But he's right, when push came to shove. But as I say again, back-to-back pick sixes puts a team in a really tough spot. But Sprout was cooking them before that happened, to his point. 24 first-half points I'm looking at. By the way, the most they gave up all year, 24 in the first half.
You know what else makes that really impressive, too, on CJ's part, is that he didn't get to face that defense for a second time. That was the first time, right? Like if you're talking about when they played
Case Keenum,
then they played them in
and then
week
your
16.
Boy,
when I'm just saying, like when they played them in week 16, AR, and they're throwing out Davis Mills at you.
Well, first it was Keenum, I think. Didn't he throw a pick and they got him out of there?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe that happened. I just looking at kind of. Just swag surfing through the box score. You're right. Case Keenum was in that game. And so the fact that CJ didn't even get that feel of, okay, first time you face a defense like that with all these vets and all these good players, you take some lumps probably more times than not. He hopped right on a moving train at the most important time and put up good numbers. And look, I think both units that we're talking about here, Houston's offense and Cleveland's defense, I think are going to be ranked fairly high again this year.
The other thing that they didn't have, as long as we're on the Brownies right now, in that game, and I want to go back and bring up the box score because they obviously were thrashed. But what they didn't have to control things was Nick Chubb. They didn't have a running game to help out Flacco. And they didn't have Chubb for the first time when they weren't facing CJ, right, in that game. And so both times the Browns couldn't lean on ball control. Let's put our defense in a good spot. They just were chasing that thing from the very beginning. Their leading rusher was Kareem Hunt in that playoff game. Now, I know game script might have changed things, but their leading rusher was Kareem Hunt. He had 26 yards. Jerome Ford had 17, and Flacco had 13. And Cooper, who absolutely killed the Texans in that game, I think you were talking about.
Historic game.
Yeah, had an average game at best. Yeah. And Nico and C.J. Stroud just killed him.
You bring up a good point because it's not only what Nick Chubb provides for your offense, it's the rest that he provides for your defense. And when your defense is that talented and they feel fresh going out there in the third and fourth quarter because, Nick Chubb's making the chain gang work up and down the field a lot, that's only going to make everybody better. So that's a big question mark going into this year's. What type of punch are they going to have?
No doubt.
If Nick Chubb, let's say, isn't available for a couple games or who knows how long he may be out. He may not be out at all, but that has been a massive part of what they did. But they turned into more of a pass-heavy team with Flacco, and now there's pressure on Deshaun early on to maybe do some of those similar things with the addition now of Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, 2.8 yards a carry in that play.
Ain't going to cut it.
For the Cleveland Brownies.
That ain't going to cut it.
We'll have Gary Gramling up next. He's the NFL managing editor at The Athletic. We'll get his feel on how much he believes in the Brownies with Deshaun at the controls. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Bobby Carpenter here for Affinity Whole Health, the leader in the testosterone and hormone replacement therapy game. And weight loss too, that's right. Affinity offers semaglutide injections for weight loss in addition to their testosterone treatments so you can lose weight and build muscle. They customize a plan directly for you. They added peptides to my TRT. They've added semaglutide with my friend's testosterone, and the results are amazing. They're pumped about summertime and pool season, so check them out at feelgreatcolumbus.com. That's feelgreatcolumbus.com.
It's the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event. So give your friends something to look at and make this a summer to share and save with a capable Kia SUV like the Sorento, Sportage, Seltos, or Telluride. or a powerful sedan like the fun-to-drive Forte. Each backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. And for a limited time, get 1.9% APR for 48 months for well-qualified buyers and $1,000 bonus cash on specially tagged 2024 Sportage and Sorrento models. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Financing for 24 to 48 months from Kia Finance, subject to credit approval for purchase of a new 2024 Sportage or Sorrento. Excludes hybrids and PHEVs. $21.65 per month per $1,000 financed at 48 months. $1,000 bonus cash on specially tagged models must be applied as down payment. Must take delivery by 7/8/24. Limited inventory. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See retailer for details.
Reggie was a nurse for 16 years.
I had become very burnt out. I wasn't making good money.
Then it happened.
There was an ad for My Computer Career, and it just spoke to me.
My Computer Career was the best decision he ever made.
I could study anywhere from my laptop, and I was working in the first couple of weeks of me being in class.
Reggie hit a home run.
The field is teeming with jobs.
Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
The school is amazing.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu. This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Attention weekend warriors. Fan Sports Saturday has moved to 10 a.m. Join Eric Reeser and Tyvis Powell as they dive into popular topics like the Buckeyes and Tyvis's liquid diet.
Saturdays from 10 to 1.
The Fan.
O'Reilly. Extend the life of your engine with regular oil changes and save at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, pick up 5 quarts of O'Reilly full synthetic motor oil and a MicroGuard oil filter for $31.99. Or upgrade to a MicroGuard Select filter for just $2 more. Limits apply. Available in-store only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Ah, the sweet sounds of spring. The crack of a bat, chorus of birds, and the glorious hum of a freshly tuned AC system. Don't sweat it. Let the Waterworks Heating and Cooling team keep you in tune with a spring AC checkup.
You're all set.
Schedule a visit today and stay cool all summer long. Call the Waterworks Heating and Cooling team, 614-333-9720, or schedule service on our website. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better AC.
Something amazing is happening here. AI is increasing workloads on CPUs and GPUs, but this company's laptops are more than keeping pace. That's because CDW worked with them to future-proof their laptop fleet by configuring them with devices enabled with AMD Ryzen AI. Improve performance and free up resources with AMD Ryzen and CDW. Make amazing happen. Find out more at cdw.com/AMD client.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. You know, I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. You know, basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The best bet on the radio. This is Rothman and Ice.
All right, the 100-day countdown to the NFL season is on. Gary Gramling helps us kick that off. NFL managing editor at The Athletic. Gary, welcome back, my man.
Good to be back, guys.
We were talking about quarterbacks in this league and fantasy versus a reality. Where are you fantasy versus reality on Jordan Love right now? They just cooked teams at the end. I think they won 6 of their last 8. He caught fire, so now he's gone from like a 58% passer in the few games he played in his rookie year now to 17 games played last year and 64%. He did have 11 picks, but 32 touchdowns. Is he somewhere... Are you guarded against Jordan Love and the optimism, or are you a big believer?
I'm a pretty big believer in Jordan Love because I think when you look around the league, some guys, and we don't need to dive too deep into the who's a system quarterback, who's lifting up the system, et cetera, et cetera. He's a guy traits-wise. I mean, he's got everything you want. So you've seen him operate within the system. And frankly, that slow start last year was really a result of not only Love having to come along, but all those guys for first and second year receivers, they just weren't on the details yet. And we saw what happened when they were. If he can layer playmaking on top of what they do schematically, though, and that's what you look for. That's what makes a Patrick Mahomes, a Josh Allen, et cetera, et cetera. Not that he's necessarily going to reach that level, but I think Jordan Love is a guy who is going to be kind of in that MVP conversation at least a few times over the next, let's say, 5 seasons here.
Gary, we were looking back before we brought you on, and we were talking a lot about the Texans and the Browns, and just the incredible, year that CJ had out of the gate, staying in the NFC North and looking at Caleb Williams and what the Bears have done this offseason. Are you a believer that Caleb Williams can have the same type of impact in year one that CJ did down in H-Town?
It's certainly possible. I would be less optimistic about Caleb doing what CJ did. The thing with CJ was, I don't think anyone doubted he could operate an NFL offense. The question with him was, could he do the second reaction stuff? And he proved pretty early on that he did. And then we saw, anyone who had doubts about it. And I had some mild doubts about him. I thought he was going to be a good quarterback, not necessarily a great one. Turns out I was wrong. He is great. He is going to be really good for a long time. Caleb Williams, you almost have the reverse. You have a guy who can do the second reaction stuff. Can he play efficiently within structure? I wouldn't have minded. No one does this. Well, I should say the teams who do it end up with really good quarterbacks. But, I wouldn't have minded if Caleb Williams had like a redshirt year here in the NFL to kind of learn from the sideline and sort of rein him in just a little bit. Now, if he is reined in, if he is efficient within structure, then you have a guy who obviously, he's going to do what C.J. Stroud did last year. I just wouldn't be as optimistic about his ability to do that as I was with Stroud's.
Gary, we talked about the Brownies and their defense and how great they were last year. Statistically, they were great, and I think they were reality great in a lot of ways until they got to the playoff game, and then Jim Schwartz did not know what to do against C.J. Stroud. And they played that same type of defense they played, and he torched them. They couldn't lean on Chubb in that playoff game either, and then it just kind of snowballed on them, and Flacco had the pick sixes. Now, I think that most Browns fans were like, okay, they were only going to go so far with Joe Flacco, but that was stunning what the Texans did against that defense. Where are you on the Browns this year, just as a whole?
I think they're, on that third tier. If we're saying the Chiefs, the first tier in the AFC, and then maybe you have the Bills, and I think you'd squint and still put the Bengals on that tier 2 line. I know I'm forgetting some teams at this point. I would put the Browns below that. I don't know if they move a whole lot. It's got to be the quarterback. The quarterback has to get back to playing at an all-pro level, and he has not been anywhere near that. Was it because of the injuries? It's really difficult for us to look from the outside and say, but his decision-making has been atrocious over the last year and a half. It's funny, like, you break down defenses, and in the end, these defenses, they're reactionary. That's a reactionary side of the ball. You're kind of at the mercy of these, Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen quarterbacks across the league once you get to the postseason, and you're not getting any bad quarterbacks as you move deeper into the postseason. So I think what we saw in Houston was getting ripped apart by a great quarterback. I think it was a little bit Myles Garrett, who obviously is, I think Myles Garrett is as important to that defense as any individual defender is across the NFL. Myles Garrett probably had a C-plus game for him in Houston, and that's really all it takes. In the end, I mean, you can ask Cowboys fans about it. It's tough to look at your defense and see them be elite during the season and expect that they're going to stay at that same level for 3-4 postseason games in a row when you're going to be facing these superhero quarterbacks again and again and again. That's just the nature of the league right now.
Staying in the South, Trevor Lawrence, like, to me, I was high on him last year. He wasn't very good. I know he had some injury stuff going on, but is he a guy, Gary, that you think can reach elite status, or do you think Trevor Lawrence may be more of a second-tier type of guy for the remainder of his career?
No, I'm with you, man. I mean, he should be elite. He should be in these MVP conversations. There's just been enough it's been the money downs for him. It's been a lot of sort of third and medium, and he ended up going for the big play there. I don't know if it's a play calling issue. I don't know if it's a decision making issue. It's probably the two of them combined in some way. I don't know. You say he should be elite, but you sort of, year after year, it gets shakier and shakier to actually say that. They got to do it at some point. And if you're really going to be alarmist about it, which, he might as well be. We're 100 days out from the season. We have nothing better to talk about right now. But we saw Doug Peterson with a guy in Philadelphia who was an MVP candidate. And, I certainly don't think Trevor Lawrence is going the way of Carson Wentz here, but we saw it really fall apart with Carson Wentz. It's really not out of the realm of possibility. Is this going to fall apart a little bit with Trevor Lawrence, where he just ends up sort of a inconsistent middle of the pack type of guy in the NFL? Maybe it would be a bummer if that happened, but boy, it's even beyond the injuries, it's tough to really, I don't know, sort of put the full-throated support behind Trevor Lawrence right now.
Gary Gramling with us, NFL managing editor at The Athletic here on the Bryan Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. So the Niners have to turn the page here from last year, getting so close and being a fourth down stop away and all that. I'm looking at their schedule. So as being the winners of the NFC West, the Niners are going to face the winners of the NFC East. They get the Cowboys, the champion of the South, Tampa Bay. They get the top teams out of the AFC West, the Chiefs. They got matchups against every team from the AFC East and the NFC North. Give me your feeling on, and this could be Purdy's big, hey, prove to us you're a $50 million guy. Do you expect the Niners to be right there again?
They should be. It would really be helpful if they could get this Brandon Ayuk stuff sorted out before the season here, because you do need to have your full weaponry if Brock Purdy is your quarterback. And then when Brock Purdy has full weaponry, we see what he can do now. Man, it is just, and I have just the way my life played out. I ended up with a lot of Buffalo Bills fans in my friendship circles, and I tell them all the time, it's just such a bummer now because you guys wanted to be great for so long, and now you are, but you're just not quite great enough. So every regular season is like an afterthought now. You have to climb this hill again. You have to survive it, and then your entire season is just going to come down to 2-3 for the 49ers, one game in January, February here to sort of decide whether your season was a success or not. The 49ers, I mean, absolutely. There's no reason with that coach and that level of talent on the team that they should be anything but NFC champions again. But we'll see. You have one bad day in January, and that's going to derail the whole thing.
Yeah, they're all about being very good. Whether they can be the greatest and last team standing is still yet to be determined. Gary, thanks, man. Always appreciate the insight. Be well.
You got it, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yep, Gary Gramling, NFL managing editor at The Athletic. All right, we'll come back with a Buckeye Bulletin and a former Buckeye announcing somewhat of an abrupt retirement following an emergency surgery. We'll tell you about that next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Common Man and T-Bone are idiots. You should listen to them anyway.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan, Ohio's idiot destination.
How can you reach your weight loss goals by the 4th? Simple. Make a Bacon 180 with Awaken 180. Bacon's on the table. Burgers, lobsters, you name it. Don't sacrifice the summer avoiding what you love. Make a Bacon 180 at awaken180weightloss.com.
Now at UDF, buy 3 everyday favorites with UDrive Plus to quickly stack an extra 20 cents in gas savings. That includes snacks like Fritos and Doritos, candy like M&M's and Reese's, and ice cream like ours. UDF, made for you. Specially marked products with an opted-in UDrive account.
Is it time to replace your heating and cooling system? Do you have frequent repairs, increased energy bills, or uneven hot and cool spots in your home? It may be time for an upgrade. Custom Air's Comfort Consultants will give you a free assessment and guide you through replacement options. Take control of your comfort and peace of mind today. Go to customairco.com or call us at 614-552-HVAC to schedule your complimentary consultation with one of our experts. Custom Solutions, Custom Comfort, Custom Air.
She posted about us just now.
Celebrities can't get enough of Bianna's bespoke skincare line.
She has 147 million followers. How do we monetize?
She needs a social media associate to help her with the hype.
We should repost this. Do we need a hashtag?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Seasons change. Why not your tech? Upgrade now during the Dell Technologies Summer Sale event and save on select PCs like the XPS 16 powered by Intel Core processors. You'll be able to bring your most intensive projects to life with built-in AI, minimalistic design, immersive visuals, and cinematic audio. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to exceptional tech and electronics plus free shipping on everything. Amazing prices await you for a limited time only at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Bishop and Friends.
It is a big deal that you have a home and away with 3 Big Ten teams, and 2 of the 3 are Maryland and Nebraska. Who is protecting Ohio State's house?
Bishop and Friends.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Save up to $150 on select sets of 4 Vredestein tires at AAA Car Care Plus. Not a member? Not a problem. Everyone can save up to $150 on Vredestein tires through May 31st at AAA Car Care Plus locations. See store for details.
Grab life by the chicken fingers and savor the day with hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and that secret cane sauce that makes everything that much better.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Hi, I'm Lauren, and I work for Meijer. People always ask, why do I shop there? It's because I can get great quality and value in one stop. Like this week's hottest deals on locally grown asparagus and select cuts of pork. Plus, I can earn 50 points per gallon of gas pumped at any Meijer Express through June 1st with M-Perks. Meijer has all I need in just one stop, and the same low Meijer prices in-store and online. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
Lowe's knows every project starts with the right tools and equipment. And during Craftsman Days, you can save big on what you need from a brand you trust. Get a free Select V20 tool when you buy a Select Battery 2-pack. Plus, save $50 on a V20 string trimmer and leaf blower combo kit. Now only $99. Because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 5/29 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
All right, this Buckeye, Austintown, Ohio native. Big-time Buckeye, Billy Price. So he was actually the Associated Press D1 Co-Defense Player of the Year in Ohio as a high school senior, I remember. He's moved to the offensive line, Maddie, during his redshirt season. And now he suited up at center on the scout team. Coaches kind of moved him to guard. He started a lot of games and got into third team, all Big Ten type honors. Every week starter here at Ohio State at left guard, and then kind of moved him, I think, at the right side as a junior, and I think he captained the team. And so he was really looked at as being an excellent player, a lot of strength. A lot of people liked Billy Price, started every game as a senior. Pat Elfline had the record there.
What high school, Pat Elfline?
It was somewhere in Pickerington.
That's right, baby. Pick North Panthers, stand up. That's us.
He had a lot of starts, and so did Billy. And they got him into the league, and he kind of has a lot of edge to him, I thought. They loved his toughness. And I don't remember what he did at the combine. I'd like to go back and look at his bench because everyone was really excited to say, wow, he might hit 40 on the bench. We don't know. I'll have to go back and look at that. But he got picked in the first round in 2018, picked 21 by the Cincinnati Bengals. So obviously everyone thought he was a big-time prospect. He'd gone through some injuries, bounced around a little bit, and then got to the Giants. And he just announced his retirement on social media this weekend. And it's for a fairly serious reason, along with all the other injuries he has suffered. He underwent emergency surgery last month to remove a blood clot. You know how scary that is. Yeah. One split second. He's 29, and he said he had suffered this unprovoked pulmonary embolism and then decided because of the risk of internal bleeding. Because, as I said, you throw a clot, you're done. And so he had this emergency surgery. They removed this clot that was entering both of his lungs. And so he's incredibly thankful, honestly, to be alive.
Yeah, man.
And he'll be retiring as the risk of that internal bleed, because he's on blood thinners now. Mm-hmm. When you're on the blood thinners, you're creating another risk. Yeah. But as I mentioned, drafted by the Bengals, a proud Buckeye, played for 3 seasons before getting traded to the Giants in 21. Played 69 career games, started 45 of them. Last played with Arizona a couple years ago. So here he is, saying goodbye to football at 29.
Yeah, man, that's obviously
saying hello to life.
Yeah, exactly. It's tough, right? I'm sure for the competitor that's in him. A lot of these guys that never goes away, and you hear from some football players that your body's going to tell you when you have to walk away. And I guess one way to look at it is these guys have to go through a lot of these, medicals and all of that, and that's the beauty of that, is that it can find something in you that's a very scary deal, and clearly that's the case there, but they caught it there, and glad that it looks like he'll be okay on the other side. So, yeah, Billy was just a rock on that offensive line. You mentioned his stops in the NFL, but what he was able to do here at Ohio State was really good stuff. Like, you didn't have too many games. We were coming in on Mondays talking about Billy Price had a bad game on the offensive line. So he should be very proud of his football career, even though I'm sure he feels like there's more meat left on the bone. But hopefully he'll be able to get into some things that can maybe scratch that itch of football, whether it's coaching or in media or whatever it is. So we wish him well, man, on the other side. We really do.
No doubt. Billy Price, done with football now at 29.
Aaron, I went to look for his combine reps.
Yeah.
There's nothing there on the bench press. And now that I see that, my mind does kind of go back to, I think he may have been dealing with a little bit of an injury there.
Chest injury?
Yeah, like a peck or something. And so when I saw that pop up, kind of rang a bell that he wasn't able to do that, but obviously didn't hurt him.
During the bench, probably, right?
Yeah.
Not before?
I don't know when it happened, but maybe that's the case. But I do remember that he was dealing with an injury around pro day combine time.
Now it rings a bell. I think he may have tried it and hurt himself.
Okay.
I have to go back and look at that.
Tried to gut it out.
Well, yeah, because there was so much hype around what he was going to do. But, yeah, if you tear a pec on the bench in the combine, that's a no good.
You mentioned his stop in Arizona. I saw that contract for old Marvin Harrison Jr. came out a couple days ago when I was
The
gone.
Fanatics contract?
No. The Arizona Cardinals contract. $35 million guaranteed? 22 at signing?
Yeah.
Get your bag, Marvin.
Oh, we got it. Now just go ahead and sign the NFLPA then. What are we waiting on now? Like,
he's trying to be a trailblazer, man. He seems like he's dug in.
Still not for sale.
Which is pretty wild. You can't get his jersey on the Cardinals website right now.
You get it probably on his website or whatever he's got
I know
going.
a guy, too, in a dark alley that'll make some money.
Yes.
The back of the barbershop. I know a couple guys that'll make it for you. But, listen, he got it right out of the gate. I mean, it's good living. I think he's going to earn every penny for the Cardinals. I do. But when I saw that when I was out, I was like, okay, it's pretty eye-opening. 33 guaranteed right away. 35,
I search the Cardinals online shop for Marvin Harrison, I get back no results. At the Fanatics NFL page, and you put in Marvin Harrison, it leads to products related to plenty of Marvins and Harrisons, from Marvin Harrison Sr. to Harrison Butker.
I heard Scotty Vegas has got a site where you can get one.
Yeah, his site is overseas. And
have to send a limo
may or
over to
may
get
not
it,
have the letters spelled right or slanted, and
may take you 2.5 years to get, but
yeah, it may not fit exactly right. But They were probably a lot less money, and who would care and who would know, right?
Oh, I slid on over to the NFL shop, .com, the Arizona Cardinals page.
You like to shop at the duty-free shop?
I don't know.
You want to stop there?
What's that from?
It was a little Seinfeld.
No, okay.
No,
Seinfeld.
Everybody likes to stop at the duty-free shop. I butchered the line.
The first thing that pops up, you get a couple receiver jerseys. You can get a discounted AJ Green jersey for $36 over there. You got D-Hop still for $77, but you can't get Omar.
Was Green 18?
Green was
there you
18.
Go. Just get the nameplate removed and a new one on.
There you go. Green was 18. Forgot about that stop for him. That just didn't even look right. You know those athletes that go from one jersey to another, and it just doesn't even look right? Like, that was it for AJ Green. He should have retired in the orange and black. Like,
Favre in a Viking jersey was easily the weirdest thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, those type of guys, like, what are we doing?
Montana in a Chiefs jersey was pretty jarring.
But he changed the number. You know what number he wore?
19.
That's right. Good call. Went from 16 to 19.
You know how I know that? He was the cover of NFL 94 on Sega Genesis. And I'm not even a video game guy.
I was going to say, you getting the college football game when it comes out?
No, I think I'm going to stay with Sega.
Playing Sonic still?
No, NHL 94, right? Can I get a little Teemu Solani? Can I get that?
We got to upgrade you, big dog.
Dino Cicerelli with the Lightning.
Teemu had a, by the way.
What's the last name on that again? What was that? Cicerelli?
Cicerelli.
I like that.
Yeah. I'd like to get the rankings.
They're still selling J.J. Watt jerseys on the Arizona Cardinals. Like, what are we doing?
Well, all those guys, you can.
The legends.
Yeah.
Said he's ready if he's needed.
He did say he's talking to D'Amico Ryan. Hit me up. You need me.
Man, I do now remember playing with Teemu Solani of the. I'm trying to think what year that was. In maybe it was Winnipeg. Is he on Winnipeg?
Yeah,
is that right? NHL 94 on Sega.
Anaheim.
He did go to the Mighty Ducks.
EA Sports has always put out a good NHL game. The game's it's lit. It's a good time when you play that.
Well, the scene from Swingers is the greatest, right? When they finally could knock a guy over, and then they just had blood coming out of his head. Like, look, I made little Wayne bleed. Little Wayne bleed.
It's one of the craziest things in sports that hockey just allows dudes just to throw hands.
It's not me. It's Ronick. He's good. All right, we come back. Sports Center update here at top of the hour. We'll get into a deep dive. 100 days as Maddie has.
Here we go.
He's announced this day as 100 days.
The final countdown, baby.
Exactly. We'll get into who we believe. Well, actually, we'll let Bake kind of give us some rookies and most improved teams we expect to fail, all that good stuff. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
A lot has changed in 30 years, but we're still that old shoe that feels worn in and well-loved. And, well, we smell a little, but you've accepted that. The Fan.
Bobby Carpenter here for Affinity Whole Health, the leader in the testosterone and hormone replacement therapy game. And weight loss too, that's right. Affinity offers semaglutide injections for weight loss in addition to their testosterone treatments so you can lose weight and build muscle. They customize a plan directly for you. They added peptides to my TRT. They've added semaglutide with my friend's testosterone, and the results are amazing. They're pumped about summertime and pool season, so check them out at feelgreatcolumbus.com. That's feelgreatcolumbus.com.
When an orthopedic injury or condition gets in the way of life, there is nothing more important than finding a physician you can trust. At Orthopedic One, you'll find Central Ohio's most trusted team of orthopedic experts, ready to listen to your concerns and work with you toward the best possible outcome. In fact, more people trust Orthopedic One than any other practice in Central Ohio. Start with the specialists. Start with orthopedic1.com.
Hey, it's Anthony here for the Good Feet Store. You know, we do a segment on the show every week called Pressure, but that's about sports. What about the pressure your feet endure every day? I know mine did. When I went to the Good Feet Store, I learned I was out of line. I joked, I already know that. They said, no, physically, my feet weren't being supported the right way. So when I went to the store on Polaris Parkway, they also have one on Stringtown Road, I took all the time I needed to walk around the store to see what felt and fit the best in my shoes. Once I had them in, my personal arch supports from the Good Feet Store, my lower back pain went away. What a feeling. You need to get your free personalized fitting by one of their arch support specialists. For arch supports to be effective, they require a precision fit. That's why Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet Store. You like them? You can wear them home. You have nothing to lose but the pain. So go to goodfeet.com today or go in and try the Good Feet feeling. comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief, all from the Good Feet store.
Robert Half research indicates 9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. If you have open roles, chances are you're feeling this too. That's why you need Robert Half. Our specialized recruiting professionals engage with our proprietary AI to connect businesses of all sizes with highly skilled talent in finance and accounting, technology, marketing and creative, legal, and administrative and customer support. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com today.
Whether it's baseball season, basketball playoffs, or hockey playoffs, experience it live this spring with Vivid Seats. With one of the most reliable rewards programs in the business, Vivid Seats makes it easy to score great deals on great seats with a 100% buyer guarantee. Plus, with Vivid Seats rewards you can earn with every ticket purchase, including surprise seat upgrades, birthday discounts, free tickets, and more. Just visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Matt Andrews. The Guardians look to start a new winning streak later on tonight. Their 9-game winning streak snapped yesterday in Denver. They'll take on the Rockies this evening at 8:40. Tristan McKenzie starts with the Guards. Colorado will pitch Ryan Feltner, a former Ohio State Buckeye. The Reds look for their 5th straight win. They'll take on the Cardinals today in Great American Ballpark at 6:40. Andrew Abbott will make the start for Cincinnati. Columbus Clippers open a series at home tonight against Lehigh Valley at 7:05. It is Diamond Dog Night at Huntington Park. NBA later on today. Minnesota's at Dallas at 8:30. Dallas goes for that series sweep. And in the NHL tonight, East Finals, New York at Florida at 8 o'clock. Rangers lead that series 2-1. Breaking sports news when it happens here on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and I feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Maxima Concrete. Visit MaximaConcrete.com today to schedule your free estimate.
All right, final hour of the program. I think they waited for us. Rothman and Ice, Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes. The Blue Jackets have made it official, and they have named Don Waddell president of hockey ops, general manager, and alternate governor. And so John Davidson, our guy, Hockey and Hounds, shout out. JD will, I imagine, transition now to that senior advisory role. And so they get a guy who's been around forever. I mean, Waddell is 65, and he's agreed to a multi-year contract. He's going to be, as I said, basically JD, but with the GM tag. Now, could there be some other hire that's waiting in the wings here? Stay tuned in on that. Who knows? But he is going to be introduced at a press conference Wednesday.
Okay, here we go. And I think
10 years with the Hurricanes, by the way.
There was so many moving pieces the last couple of years and even going into the offseason for the Jackets. I think one thing that I'm hoping for over the next year, 2 years plus, is just stability, right? Both on the ice, within the front office, whatever's going to happen, with the coaching staff, like all of those things, because I think that's obviously been a big issue for our Jackets over the last couple of years. Is clearly the on-the-ice product has been inconsistent, but I think even up top, you want to just have everybody on the same page, everybody with the same vision. That way you can have a clear path to what you want to be. There's some young guys I think we're all excited about, the Fantillis of the world, the Kent Johnsons of the world, some of these other guys that have showed promise. But you need to give yourself a clean runway, both the players in the locker room and the front office. And last offseason, we know we were talking about the whole Babcock thing and how that got off the rails quickly, and that led you down a path of Coach Vincent, a guy that has promise as a coach, I'm sure, throughout his career, but he's a young guy in that realm, right? And so there's just been a lot of gray area, and hopefully, AR, this will be the beginning of clearing up that gray area, and we'll be talking about more positive things around the Jackets in 24 and beyond.
You're going to get a top 5 pick to boot. You're going to get You mentioned Fantilli. I think we all believe he's a future NHL star. Yep. And they have a very nice young core to work with. Now, you win hockey games a lot of ways. You can win with muscle. You can win with skill. You can really win with good goaltending, great goaltending. But you have to have a strong blue line. And so when JD got here, they're kind of building it from the back out. We saw Voronkov. How good has he been in his first seasons here? And all of a sudden, you got Marchenko. You got Kent Johnson, who looked, I thought, much better. There was that down and up kind of deal with him. Chinnikov certainly has started to figure a lot out, I think. The Johnny thing, he didn't have line A all year. Like, there wasn't that, which we thought would be a deadly combo at times. But you've got a really solid young forward core. You've got some veteran presence. You just have to try to build it the right way, like you say. I mean, Juracek, we feel is going to be a blue line prospect. Matejchuk is coming. So all of a sudden, and then Tarasov, right? Is he going to steal the job from Elvis and the whole? There are going to be some tough decisions that are going to have to be made here. And you're going to hire Don Waddell to make those tough decisions. And I've said this for a while. It's tough to sell a great hockey city a rebuild. It is. It's very tough. Some big-time cities that have a lot going on, like Philly could sell it a little bit. Chicago could sell it, and because you've been there and you can reset. But when you have the crowds and you have the attendance that the Jackets have, it's tough to admit it. I failed a little bit, and I admitted this to you. When we went to training camp and we had Yarmo on, I asked him that question about, well, now that you had to get rid of Babcock and you have Pascal in here, a first-time head coach, are you going to lower your expectations? Now, I know his answer would never be yes, because he can't say that. He can't. But the truth is that I should have pushed him on it, because there's no way you could be willing to pay one guy the most you've ever paid a head coach, have to kick him out, and then go to a first-year NHL head coach and say, it's all the same. You remember his answer he gave us? Yeah. Oh, the coach doesn't score, he doesn't play. Well, if that's the case, why would you go out and get the $4 million guy? Yep. And I failed us that day, and I admitted to you. I admitted to you after the show, and I admitted on the show, because there's no reason. And I remember coming back to the show that day and saying, they're not a playoff team. I don't think they're set up correctly. I know there's a lot to look forward to. But now, did Elvis have a better year? He did. Certainly. Elvis is an emotional guy. He just is. He's it's one of those things that you can't eat another bad contract. Like, how many can you do? I mean, you're going to take someone else's bad one. They're a little bit in survival mode right now, but they have something to look forward to. You're locked into Severson for 8 years. You got a top 6 guy paying him top 4. Are you going to eat Line A? I don't know what's going to happen there. Yeah. They really haven't, quote, fixed anything, but you have to at least back this guy who has a lot of experience, who's made some good moves, who will probably make some very tough decisions that have to be made. And here we are. But yeah, I mean, you got a $5 million goalie, and he hasn't lived up to it. Whether Tarasov can stay healthy and be that guy, we don't know. But remember, when you had a locker room with Savard and Nicky and Jonesy, when you had those guys, you could lean on those guys. Now I think you have kind of spotty leaders. It's when you have leaders, you can slide guys up and down lines and feel like you can get away with it. But you got to put some guys in some interesting spots now. But here we are. I can't say that I wouldn't like the hire. It seems like a really veteran type hire here, and a guy who is probably in his last job now, and to kind of return the Jackets to being somewhat of a contender here. But you said it. They've got a solid young core, so any GM would be happy to kind of be around it at this time of it. But to immediately launch them into being a contender is far in the future, I feel.
And you've always brought up a good example when it came to two guys, and Pat and Johnny, right? When you get Line A and you get Gaudreau, your mind can go to, as a hockey fan, okay, our ceiling is much higher with what those guys potentially could be year in and year out. And you've always used the example of putting those guys and acquiring guys like that. You think you're acquiring, like in baseball, a 40 home run a year type of guy. And those guys haven't been that. There's been good moments. There's been some flashes from those guys, and we know Patty's got his situation right now, that's going to get itself figured out. I'm just talking specifically on the ice. When we saw both he and Johnny, it just felt like there was more meat left on the bone. And when you have guys that you're going to rely on so much statistically to put the puck in the back of the net, and those guys don't do it consistently, then maybe you're asking some of the young guys who may not be ready to elevate to that level in different areas on the ice, but specifically there on offense to step up, and maybe they just aren't quite ready. And that's just one thing there that I think about is you go from the bread man and you end up with a couple guys that it looks great on paper and have done good things elsewhere, and when they came to the city, it didn't hit the way you wanted it to. So that, I think, has held back this team from succeeding a little bit more over the last 2 to 3 years.
Yeah. The leaders on this team, Boone, certainly.
Z.
That guy will lead. Z, for
Absolutely.
sure. But we're looking at guys like Marchenko and Voronkov and Chinnikov and Sillinger and Johnny. Tex is back, Fantilli. Like, they have got Nylander showed a lot, I felt, last year.
Let me ask you this, AR, because you mentioned how a rebuild could be a tough sell to this fan base, who, and you brought it up, have been great, showing up more times than not over there nationwide. Do you think he should come in and tear this thing down?
It feels like some very, very tough decisions have to be made. Yeah, I do.
I mean, you've got to identify your core, who you want to build around, and then get rid of everyone else and rebuild around that.
And usually, I hear you. I hear both you guys, and I'm with both you guys because you guys mentioned the young core. And when you are a new GM, at a new location, and you have a young core, that gives you runway, right? That gives you time to grow and build it out the way you want to. And if you can free yourself up financially in a couple spots here or there, and that could show itself maybe in a positive way in 25 and 26 and all those years ahead of us. Like, sometimes you see GMs do that, where they come in and rip it down. But on the flip side of that, we've seen GMs at other sports go all in financially and really try to speed up the process. So it will be very interesting to see what he does when he gets this thing rolling.
There would be some very unpopular things. Now, I think if he goes on and gets his own head coach, that wouldn't be unpopular, even though I like Pazzi a lot. I would say, like, the trading of Elvis, I don't know who would really take him. It's such a bad contract right now. Nobody wants that. If you're a cap team, bottom of the league with several bad contracts, they have a few assets. They have good players, but they're not a great team right now. I don't know. I don't know what they expect to get out of Johnny in this rebuild, because you may just be wasting his prime and skill in a so-called rebuild. I don't know. It'd be weird to get him and then move him, but you could move him for a ton.
That's what my gut's telling me. Like, that's the play outside of, because the goalie thing is very interesting, but Johnny is the guy that comes to the forefront of my mind when it comes to what you can do to maybe strengthen this team in the future. And as you just laid out, he may be an attractive asset.
Yeah, you might have to buy a little bit of a salary, but yeah.
Right. That feels like he can put them over the hump.
I think Johnny is a very smart play to move, if you could, because, one, he's still respected in the hockey world a lot. Like, he just had a very good world championship. I think he had 11 points in 8 games. People are going to want to have that player on their team. The problem with the Jackets, to me, and with Johnny, to me, in this fit was Johnny's not a driver. The Jackets need a driver. Like, Laine's not a driver.
You need an aircraft carrier. Is what you're saying.
Fantilli could be a driver.
Yep.
Chinnikov could be a driver. We saw Z really take a step and try to be a driver, but that's hard to do from the back end. That's why I think Johnny, you could get so much for him, and he just doesn't fit with the pieces right now.
Makes sense, Big. Absolutely.
That's what I say. There are some unpopular decisions, because when a guy of that skill set says he wants to play in Columbus, Ohio, everyone says, oh, please give him whatever he wants, because I get it, because you're desperate for that kind of skill, because the only way you usually can get that is by drafting it or trading for it. You don't get it a lot free agency-wise. And we've gone through that, and we get it. And it's not a knock on Columbus. Everyone says, and everyone who visits, great place, great place. Would love to be there, play there. Fan base is incredible. Stadium is awesome. Like, we get all that. But when we're talking about this with Panarin and guys like that, it was tricky, because there are certain guys that just want different things. And I said this, I gave you this quote on the air a long time ago. I said, you gave me $80 million and a map. I'm not picking Columbus, Ohio.
In your mid-20s.
And being Russian. Like,
and that's not a shot at Columbus, Ohio.
It's just reality.
It's right.
It's just reality.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. So they have a lot of wingers. They have guys that, maybe growing into a good situation at the center ice, which would be nice. That'd be big. And so we're kind of in a weird spot right now. They don't have any, I don't think, significant unrestricted free agents. So I'd have to go back and look, but you think about Chinnikov and KJ and Marchenko and Silly and Tex. I think they all need new contracts. So does Nylander. So
Don's got a lot of work to do.
He just got here in March.
The first domino has fallen, though. The first domino has fallen. Now you got a guy, the decision maker in that chair, and we just had a discussion about all the different things that are going to be on his board.
Yeah. It is a lot.
It is, man.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And some of these guys have arbitration rights. A few of them, I think. Chinnikov, I think Silly does. Jake Bean might. So I'm just telling you, this is a really interesting time, and it may just be the time to break it down, keep the young core, and kind of move forward the best you can. But you might have to eat some bad stuff for a little bit. All right, Don Waddell, your new president of ops and GM, with JD presumably going into an advisory role at this point in his career. We'll come back. Pre-snap reads, 100 days to the NFL. What does Bake have cooked up? He'll tell you next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Your morning just got beefier. Morning Juice with Beamer, Bobby, and Shark.
Weekdays from 6 to 9.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play, from the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar.
Whether it's a walk-off granny or a base hit to center field, whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 and older, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
She posted about us just now.
Celebrities can't get enough of Be Honest Bespoke skincare line.
She has 147 million followers. How do we monetize?
She needs a social media associate to help her with the hype.
We should repost this. Do we need a hashtag?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Seasons change. Why not your tech? Upgrade now during the Dell Technologies Summer Sale event and save on select PCs like the XPS 16 powered by Intel Core processors. You'll be able to bring your most intensive projects to life with built-in AI, minimalistic design, immersive visuals, and cinematic audio. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to exceptional tech and electronics plus free shipping on everything. Amazing prices await you for a limited time only at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
There's a little slice of heaven in a country road's escape. Pure perfection in the form of uncrowded nature. Over 1.5 million acres of parks and public lands. From mountain biking to stargazing. Churning white water to quiet trout streams far off the grid. Almost heaven is down to earth in West Virginia. Plan your getaway now at wvtourism.com.
Here's a quick listening guide. When something's on the fan, it's on the station you're listening to right now. If I say something's on ESPN Columbus, it's on 1460 AM and the Fan's HD2. When in doubt, stream it on the Fan app. Thank you and good night.
A slimmed down Scotty Vegas here, and I had a bit of a surprise this week. I weighed myself after Memorial Day weekend, and I hadn't gained a pound back of the 42 pounds I lost with Awaken 180. Not a pound after a weekend of eating wings. And Scotty like wingy, drinking tequila, and even a transfusion on the golf course. I pinged my Awaken 180 coach Patrick, asked what the deal was. He said my metabolism is working the way it should now that I'm at my ideal weight. As far as not paying attention to what I eat,
He said it was second nature to me now, and it is. Sure, I'm eating things like burgers and all those vanilla ice cream cones, but my body doesn't require seconds or thirds of it, and I honestly don't want it. And that was the goal, to change my approach to foods, and man, Awaken 180 has accomplished that goal. If you're ready to make a change and only do it once, call the long-term solution for weight loss, Awaken 180 Weight Loss, 844-346-1800, awaken180weightloss.com.
This is the sound of a popular American motorcycle. It's the sound of freedom, the open road, really good times. And this is what it sounds like with a drunk guy in it. How do you like the sound of that? Cops are cracking down on drunk motorcycle riders. If you ride drunk, you will get caught and you will get arrested. Drunk riding, over the limit, under arrest. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Hey, folks, it's game day, and the betting's going to be intense, Drew.
You said it, Dave, but a good pregame routine keeps betting responsible.
That's right. You got to pause before you play.
Good call. Sports betting is hot, but it can be risky.
And pausing to set limits is an all-star move.
That's right, Dave. If you bet on sports, pause before you play to set limits, recognize the risk, and know when to stop.
Learn more at pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Looks like we'll have a breezy afternoon. High temperature today will be around 72. Increasing clouds this evening along with a pop-up shower. Rain chances really pushing tonight. Tonight we drop down to the mid-50s, and then on your Wednesday, temperatures will get up to about 69 under mostly cloudy skies. Rain chances will be very prevalent throughout the day. I'm Doppler 10 meteorologist Dylan Robichaud on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by the Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, a little Bet365 time, Iceman.
Hey, or let me tell you that at Bet365, we don't do ordinary. You can see for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. What are you looking at for today, big dog?
I was looking at a play. The Tigers are playing the Pirates tonight. Okay. My boy Scooball is pitching, and for the Tigers, Pirates are top 5 in Ks, I believe, maybe top 4 in Ks this year. So I went to look at the over-under thinking I'm going to bet Scooball's over on Ks, but it is at a robust 7.5. Now, he certainly can do this. He struck out a dozen Yankees not long ago.
That ain't bad.
Which isn't bad.
Yeah.
So I have to, you need to help me. Do I mental hedge this, bet the under? And if he doesn't, I'll be thrilled because he's on my fantasy team.
Yeah.
If I bet over and it both goes under, then so bet the under on 7.5.
Let's mental hedge this thing.
Yeah, I think 7 is still an incredibly good number for Ks. So I'm going to go under 7.5 strikeouts for Scooball against the Pirates.
Okay, I'm going down to GABP because the Cincinnati Reds, you look up, and they've won 4 games in a row. Brought the brooms out on the Dodgers? Are you serious?
The Dodgers.
But guess what? We're still in the basement. 7.5 games back, but the vibes are good right now. I'm looking at a dinger tonight. I'm looking at a dinger tonight by a man named Ellie De La Cruz. Give me Ellie tonight, taking a trip around the pillows, plus 475 off Kyle Gibson.
Let me just tell you this real quick.
What do you got?
Jake Fraley.
Okay.
Career versus Kyle Gibson. 5 for 7, 2 dingers.
You want a little Jake Fraley dinger juice?
I'm just saying. I mean, I might be looking at that.
Not mad at it. Plus 750. Plus 750 if you're interested in Jake Fraley. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Bet365 is the official sports betting partner of the smoking hot Cleveland Guardians. I don't even care if they lost yesterday. They're on one. Download the Bet365 app today. 21 plus only. Must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
Bacon, I have a little cadence going now. Jumped it last time.
You got to watch the new Hunger Games. It was on last night. It's good.
I have it. It's DVR.
Yeah, get that thing
How
done.
about
You'll
we
enjoy it.
You know what else? Instead, if you don't want to do the Homer thing on Fraley, why don't you just do like a total bases milestone? Like, what do you think his total bases will be tonight?
That works too. I'll give him 5. Let's go 5.
5 total bases?
Yeah.
That's 10-1. That's
like it.
better odds than betting just a home run. I didn't think you'd go all the way there to 5. But
listen,
maybe
5.
3.
5 for 7. 2 home runs in his career.
He's obviously in the ballpark.
Fraley.
Yeah, I'm in on that.
10-1 on 5 total bases.
I like his better than my Ellie dinger, because he brought some good stats to the table. He's locked in on Gibby.
That's what happens when you have baseball or MLB Network on in here.
All day, every day.
You see things.
All day.
What if we wanted to do it a little more conservative but still bet Fraley?
Oh, man.
3 total bases?
That works.
That's 3.5-1 on Bet365. All right, Bake. Maddie has declared this the start of NFL football season for some reason.
The final countdown.
Yeah, here at 100 days and thought, here we go.
Let's go, baby.
Everybody run out of the tunnel. All right, so what do you have cooked up?
Well, with 100 days out, it just got me thinking about some things we might see this year in the NFL. And the first one, especially since we just had the draft here, at the end of April, it got me thinking, what rookie are you guys most excited to watch this year?
It's interesting. We said it earlier, so I'm going to steal it and grab it. I am looking forward to the kid that lit the combine on fire.
Oh, boy.
Xavier Glenn Worthy.
Okay.
Texas receiver. He was off his 1K season. He broke a 7-year-old, as I like to say, land speed record. So he followed his 4.25 40 with a 4.21. Now,
it's decent.
Yes. The weird part is he could have been running routes versus the Buckeyes when he verbal to Michigan. He decided to go to Texas, and he set a freshman record there. So when you think about this 40 time, and it's kind of being shrugged off by some people, but because they're comparing him to John Ross III, who was the famous, I guess, draft bust, even though I guess he has a new home now.
He's back, baby, in Philly.
Yeah, because he's back. So the only real the comparison is their elite speed, because Ross came in the league pretty raw, right? One successful season at Washington. Worthy has been a big part of what Texas has done for several years. So I think they're completely different. Mm-hmm. He's probably a better route runner than Ross. And he met with the Chiefs, and now all of a sudden he's there. And so I think I'm really looking forward to seeing what he's got. My eyes will be on him.
I'm going down to Florida, and this is probably going to be off the board. Florida for a lot of people, specifically Duval County. And I'm looking at Brian Thomas Jr., the Jags' first-round pick at wide receiver, because I think this AFC South is going to be very, very fun, or has the potential to be that. They missed on the Calvin Ridley acquisition, that being the Jags. That just did not work out between he and Trevor Lawrence. You still got Christian Kirk down there, Evan Ingram, ETN. I like some of their offensive pieces. But this guy, if he can be a solid pass catcher for Trevor Lawrence, then I think this Jags team is on to something. Malik Neighbors got a lot of the attention coming out of LSU, and rightfully so. That dude's special. But Brian Thomas Jr. was a baller as well. So I'm going with a little bit of a sleeper pick in the rookie room, and I'm going with a Jaguar and Brian Thomas Jr.
What team, guys, do you think will be the most improved in the NFL this year?
I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers. Can't get any worse.
No. Yeah, but can it get better? They got to improve.
That's a fair question.
Remember, they got to improve.
I think they're going to improve. I like what they've done around Bryce Young, bringing in Deontay Johnson. They brought in 2 veteran guards up front and a bunch of other offensive weapons around him that are young. So I think he's going to be a good quarterback. And that's heavy on the think right there. But I'm going with the Carolina Panthers. I think a step up is coming. Dave Canales, their new head coach, was the offensive coordinator in Tampa with Baker last year when they did some good things. So I think Carolina is going to be much better this year.
I need to look at the standings real fast because I had 2 teams in my mind, but I think they both won a decent amount of games. Maybe I'll pick the team that had less. So I was going to go with the Colts, but they won 9 games. And then I was thinking, so I'm going to have to go with the Bears. Even though they have a rookie quarterback, it's easy it's not easy to go to them with the rookie quarterback, but you bring it all together now with Odunze, Keenan Allen. You have a new OC in Waldron. So now they're pairing that all, this revamped offense. This is the team that could easily improve to 10 wins off 7. A lot of pressure on the quarterback, and I hear he's having a tough time in OTAs, but there's a real chance that the Bears could be a wild card team this year.
I think they could win the division.
Well, that's even better, even more than I was willing to go.
I think they can win the division.
I don't think they're beating out the Lions.
When their second half of the season last year, that Bears defense was one of the best, and I think they're going to mess around. They could mess around and win the North this year.
Okay.
So we talked about most improved team. Who do you guys see as a team that is set for a fall?
I'd kind of 2 teams. I don't know how far I have them falling, though. Do you think that we have the same?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm going with Dallas.
Yes.
I don't like the vibes.
I don't either.
I don't like what's going on. I think CeeDee Lamb's going to get paid, but the Dak Prescott stuff hovering over the Dan Quinn, their old defense coordinator, took some good players over to Washington with him, so I'm going with the Cowboys.
Yeah, I had the Cowboys on there. I didn't have the guts to go Jets just because of the comeback for Rodgers. But, yeah, they seem like they're in a real – this is a make-or-break year. If this doesn't happen, it's all blown up.
I don't like the vibes.
Now, I think it would shock a lot of people if they regressed, but the stage is set for like a 7-win season.
I agree.
Like, it's weird. Yeah. All right, we'll take a break, and we'll dip down to Cincinnati. Our boy Dave Lapham, Mr. Bengal himself, will weigh in on the hype in Stripe Land. That's next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
The only radio station still operating with an active booze cart. I'm drunk right now. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Grab life by the chicken fingers and savor the day with hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and that secret cane sauce that makes everything that much better.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Are you confident letting just anyone on the roof of your home? I'm Craig Schottenstein, owner of Schottenstein Roofing. Our team is dedicated to delivering outstanding value on every roof we repair or replace. Schottenstein Roofing. Go to schottensteinroofing.com.
Are you not able to enjoy the summer as much as you want because of joint pain? This is the time of year for being outdoors. It's the best, but not if your knees, shoulders, hips, or back are hurting. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Don't suffer any longer. Non-surgical joint pain relief is here at QC Kinetics. Call them today. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. I'm talking about lasting pain relief with no surgery, no drugs, and best of all, no downtime. QC Kinetics advanced treatments harness your own body's biologics and help restore and repair damaged joint tissue so you can walk, run, hike, play golf, move, swim, all pain-free. QC Kinetics is under the leadership of former orthopedic surgeon Dr. Mitchell Sheencup, a true pioneer in regenerative medicine. They have locations in Columbus, in both Gahanna and Dublin. Their advanced protocols have enabled tens of thousands of patients to reclaim their mobility. So go check them out at QCKinetics/Columbus or give them a call, 380-208-4544.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. With spring ball behind us, we're officially gearing up for the most anticipated football season ever. Excited, nervous, terrified to your very core? Think of us as your emotional safe space. Always your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Okay, I'm ready to record my jewelry store's new radio spot. I got a great script that really goes after Diamonds Direct and how they're nothing special and how we can match their price. Great stuff.
Oh, great. We have this new technology that bleeps out any false claims, so it saves us time with editing. So you can start anytime.
Okay, here goes. When you visit our jewelry store, we'll guarantee direct. Our diamonds come straight. We have cutters. And, hey, what the?
The
hard truth is that other jewelry stores simply can't do what Diamonds Direct can. Diamonds Direct has special relationships with De Beers, international connections, and virtually unlimited buying power. The result is true direct importer pricing, exceptional quality, and up to 30 times the diamond selection you find at other stores.
I can't believe this thing won't let me say.
Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Get more truth at diamondsdirect.com.
Every shot, every goal, ESPN Bet has fans covered for the biggest moments on the road to the championship. The exclusive sportsbook of ESPN is the only place to find special offers and promotions from your favorite ESPN shows and personalities throughout the playoffs. New users can get a bet reset up to $1,000 in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. Download ESPN Bet today. What a play. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Their cholesterol numbers put all other fan hosts to shame. You were listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, we just got done talking about teams that want to make their mark this year, improve and all that. The Bengals are certainly gone, but not forgotten, right? Here's Joe Burrow coming back, presumably healthy, and hopefully he'll stay that way. But there's a lot on the line. We know the division they're in. We know what they're up against. Their schedule was released not long ago, and we know they'll be going to KC in week 2, so that'll be a lot of fun. And to get more on the Bengals in their offseason is our man, Mr. Bengal, Dave Lapham. Lap, good to have you back. How you been?
Anthony, Matt. Hey, Anthony, Matt. I've been great. How about you guys?
Outstanding, man. This is going to be a lot of fun this year to watch Joe Burrow come back. And what is kind of your, I guess, when you think about your predictions and takeaway and all that from this season, we've centered so much around T. Higgins, but I kind of want to take it off him for a little bit. Where's your focus on this team if they're going to kind of reassert themselves?
Yeah, I mean, I think the focus is almost like a broken record. Been talking about it every year, is keeping number 9 healthy. I mean, he's been a star rehab guy again. I mean, he's been unbelievable coming back from that very, very rare wrist injury. It happens in hockey, happens in other sports more so than football. But the bone that he had broke on that wrist in the top of the bone. But he's worked unbelievably hard. He's thrown the ball exceptionally well. He's thrown it with velocity. He's thrown it with accuracy to very tight spots. Basically, he needs repetition now is what he needs. And be smart. If there's a day that in training camp you feel it a little bit, take a day off, and make sure you can make the dance to start the season and hopefully stay healthy throughout the season. But I think that's the biggest key. It's interesting. I just came from OTA workout down there, and he's not throwing to any of the wide receivers that he used to throw to. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are both not there for the voluntary OTAs, and Tyler Boyd is now a Tennessee Titan. So I mean, he's thrown to a bunch of other guys, which is kind of interesting. And I think a guy that has impressed me from a receiving department is Mike Gesicki, the tight end. I think he's built for this offense. A guy that came out of nowhere, Tanner Hudson. He bounced around to a bunch of different teams, came out of nowhere, but he hooked up, established a rapport, relationship with Joe Burrow. This is a very quarterback, receiver, tight end friendly offense. He thrived in it. And I think Gesicki is going to as well. It's going to be interesting, I think, to watch him.
I want to stay there with the pass catchers, Lappin, and get your maybe early evaluation on Jermaine Burton, if you've been able to see him running around, maybe doing some things. And if not, just what do you think he can provide maybe down the road this year as a third-round pick there?
Yeah, I think a lot. And I think a lot, right away. I mean, this guy's got, he averaged 18 yards a catch for his career and 20 yards per catch his final season, and he played at Georgia and Alabama in the, against the best competition that college football has to offer. I mean, he can take the top off the defense. You really have to scour tape to find a drop. I mean, he has really, really good hands. I haven't seen him drop one down there at workouts yet. But again, it's underwear ball, no pads, and no helmets, none of that kind of stuff yet. So but the one thing you can see, TJ Hirschmanzada mentored him. He was one of TJ's guys. And the way he runs his routes is very reminiscent to me of TJ Gonzalez with the change of speed coming off the line of scrimmage. A 10-yard out route is never run the same way twice. There's a little bit of wiggle, a little bit of change of speed, getting in and out of the cut a little differently. I think he's very, very advanced as a route runner. It would not shock me to see him line up in the slot, right away and make contributions as a slot receiver. And one thing that the Bengals do is every receiver has to learn, not just one spot, but all the spots, X, Y, and Z, flanker, split end, and slot receiver. Now, I wouldn't necessarily throw that all on his plate, week one, but if he were contributing in the slot and felt comfortable with that, then maybe, learn one of those outside receiver positions. And if it doesn't work out with T. Higgins, maybe he's the guy that ends up taking over that role. Who knows?
Lap, let me ask you, I'll take you back to the offense a little bit here at the kind of the helm. So no Brian Callahan and Taylor and Dan Pitcher, the team's new OC. Give me your take on what you're looking for, what changes you might see to kind of extract maybe the best numbers of Burrow's career going into this year. How do you feel about that combo now?
Yeah, I mean, I think Zach Taylor went on record here just a little bit ago saying that, he's feeling very, very confident in Dan Pitcher, and he may step back a little bit in terms of his role, as a play caller. I don't know if he's going to give the reins totally to Dan Pitcher. He might decide to do that. But Dan Pitcher and Joe Burrow are attached at the hip. I mean, they've kind of grown in the organization together, from the quarterback coaching position, the trust and belief in each other, in that relationship that was formed. And now that he's the OC, Joe Burrow has a tremendous amount of confidence in what Dan Pitcher brings to the table, as well as, he's obviously feels the same way about Zach. So it's going to be interesting to see how that part of it evolves. But, the thing that we've talked about in the past is that these guys have been around together for a while now. I mean, there's some continuity and consistency with what's going on here in terms of, not just throwing the football, but the offense in general. And Frank Pollock has been part of that as well. The offensive coaching staff has got a lot of guys that have worked together for a good period of time. That's not necessarily normal in the National Football League to have so much of your staff on either side of the ball together for as long as they have been.
Let's go over to defense. Dave, what's one of the bigger questions you have when you look at the defensive unit right now?
Well, obviously with DJ Reader heading up to Detroit, he was their best run stuffer. And what are you gonna get out of the two young guys that you drafted? Both of those guys are highly regarded prospects. You used a second-round pick on Chris Jenkins, and you used your second, third-round pick on McKinley Jackson. McKinley Jackson is more the DJ Reader body type, 330-plus pounds. He's got size. He's got length. He can be athletic. He can make himself a little bit small and be slippery when he needs to. He's got really good hands, uses his hands very, very well. He was probably the last true nose tackle in the draft, and that's why the Bengals plucked him at number 97. And then Chris Jenkins is another guy that played at Michigan, part of a national championship team. The thing you like about it is McKinley Jackson's a two-time captain. Chris Jenkins was a captain. McKinley Jackson at A&M is a two-timer, and Jenkins is a captain at Michigan. He was the best run defender. He can stack and shed with the best of them. Powerful. He's got really violent hands, this guy, and he's got some length to him as well. He's played nose. He's played 3-technique outside shoulder of the guard. He's played 5-technique, working on the tackle. He's been up and down the line of scrimmage, provide some position versatility, as does McKinley Jackson. Maybe not as much as Jenkins does, but I think, they addressed that very early in the draft. Obviously, they take Mims with the first pick, and these two defensive tackles sandwiched around, taking Burton with the first pick in the third round. So, I feel like, okay, there's a hole there. Tyler Boyd, take Jermaine Burton. A hole there, DJ Reader. Let's address McKinley Jackson and Chris Jenkins. So I think that every draft pick that they had, they saw value there, and they saw a role there, a potential role there, particularly early on, in the draft, and proceeded accordingly.
Well done, my man. Always appreciate you jumping on and getting your insight, Lap. Be well. We'll ring you up soon.
No problem, guys. I enjoy it. Good to catch up with you again.
No doubt. Hopefully talk soon. Thanks, Lap. All right. We've got, by the way, Geno Stone, bringing Von Bell back, all that. I mean, it's
Von's a big one too, right? Just get that veteran presence there on the back end and up front. I think we know what we're getting from Trey and Sam with those guys taking a few laps around the track in Cincinnati. So it should be a stout defense yet again. And if they get anything AR out of Myles Murphy, then this defense can really crank up because they spent a first-round ticket on him, in last year's draft.
And if you go back and look at Dan Pitcher, like what he did with Jake Browning, and I mean, they won a decent amount of games without Burrow, and now you get him back. I think they knew that Pitcher was going to be coveted by some teams. They promoted him, and here they go. And like Lap said, he's been around for a long time. He was with Marvin Lewis. He's been their primary guy for a lot of years. So here we are. They're, like he said, they're attached to the hip. All right, we come back and play Tell the Truth. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Get your air conditioner fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling, 1-800-COOLING.
How can you reach your weight loss goals by the 4th? Simple. Make a Bacon 180 with Awaken 180. Bacon's on the table, burgers, lobsters, you name it. Don't sacrifice the summer avoiding what you love. Make a Bacon 180 at awaken180weightloss.com.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Improve visibility and save $8 instantly when you pick up a new pair of Bosch Icon wiper blades in-store only at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Bosch Icon wiper blades have up to a 40% longer life than other premium wiper blades. The professional parts people will even install them for free at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey there, friends. It's Bo Bishop here, and my friends at RCD RV are blazing a trail in the RV industry. RCD now has 5 stores in Ohio to serve you with the best brands, new and pre-owned RVs for every budget. Your summer vacation will be one to remember when you skip the smog and spend your nights under the stars, the beautiful night sky, making those memories with the whole family. They're going to cherish it forever. Visit them at any of their 3 locations in Central Ohio and 5 in the Buckeye State, or online anytime at rcdrv.com.
The Memorial is coming, and we'll be there, and you'll be there, and we'll all be. You get the point. The Fan is broadcasting live from the Memorial.
Sponsored by Ohio for Responsible Gambling and Orthopedic One.
The Fan.
She posted about us just now.
Celebrities can't get enough of Be Honest Bespoke Skincare line.
She has 147 million followers. How do we monetize?
She needs a social media associate to help her with the hype.
We should repost this. Do we need a hashtag?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Seasons change. Why not your tech? Upgrade now during the Dell Technologies Summer Sale event and save on select PCs like the XPS 16 powered by Intel Core processors. You'll be able to bring your most intensive projects to life with built-in AI, minimalistic design, immersive visuals, and cinematic audio. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to exceptional tech and electronics plus free shipping on everything. Amazing prices await you for a limited time only at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
We see it every day. A guy comes into the men's clinic and guess what? The pills quit working, or they're sick of the side effects. And you know what else we see? Guys not confident in their relationship. At Columbus Men's Clinic, we're the leaders in bedroom confidence. Understanding if you even need ED or low T treatment should be the first step. And the next should be choosing the treatment or treatment combination to build your confidence. Our urologist and physician group is offering professional, modern treatments with success rates as high as 92% and decades of experience. Our doctors are not going to send you an email with what might work for most people. We are results-driven. driven. Concierge. You don't pay for medication, it's included, but you invest in the time it takes to get you where you want to be. We've built an experience with discretion that takes the worry out of going to the doctor. In fact, we've normalized it for guys all over Columbus. Come see our friendly team in Columbus and find out why we've been #1 in men's health for years. Get a consultation and low T blood work with results on your first visit for $99. Get your confidence back in the bedroom and beyond. Go to columbusmensclinic.com and book your appointment today. columbusmensclinic.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Airflow Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Twin Peaks, home of the 29-degree draft beer.
All right, Bake, take us home.
All right, guys. Today is National Hamburger Day. Not sure if you're planning on partaking or not, but what are the toppings on your ultimate burger?
Okay. I'm going to go with Colby Jack cheese. I need some grilled onions on this thing. Couple strips of bacon.
Not slabs?
No, not slabs. I don't think I have room for that. So give me Colby Jack, grilled onions, 2 strips of bacon, little piece of lettuce, and then I want like a drizzle of barbecue sauce on there.
Yeah, you and I are in the same boat on this. It's grilled onions and barbecue sauce. Anything after that, I wouldn't mind some of those fried onion straws on top of that, but I have to take out the grilled onions. I could substitute either one. That would give you a little crunch on there. I'm Mr. Healthy now. It's I've got to slow down on that other stuff. So I would say if you give me those grilled onions and barbecue sauce on most anything, any sandwich, I'll take it.
Because you're not a cheese guy, so hamburger day works for you.
Not really, yeah. And I'm the turkey burger guy now, so I really feel like, you could throw. Trying to think what else. I
wouldn't be mad at a couple jalapenos on mine either. Add a little kick to it.
Here's the other thing. I've gone to this now, and I didn't like it as a kid.
Yeah.
But because I like the pickle chips on any sandwich.
Like fried pickles?
No, just regular, not like
not the spear.
Correct.
Yeah, like the coins.
Correct.
Yeah, I got
pickle chips.
The pickle medallions.
Yes, the medallions. I do enjoy the medallions of pickle.
All right.
I would say that is a weird thing. I'll also do this, which is so strange. Like if I'm at a golf course and, I'm not getting a hot dog, I'll get like a turkey sandwich or something. I will take that turkey sandwich and I will go to the condiments there that they have for the hot dogs. And I would put yellow mustard and relish on my turkey sandwich.
I see the vision.
It's weird.
I see it.
It doesn't sound great, but I got to have it.
Bake, make your burger. What are you putting on yours?
So mine's pretty simple, I think. Throw me a fried egg on there.
Okay.
Some sharp cheddar cheese and a couple strips of bacon.
Done.
Good to go.
Done. Okay.
I can't lie!
Surprised AR, you didn't mention this at all today, but sad news yesterday that Bill Walton passed away.
I will tell you that I said it to Maddie during a break. We walked out there, and I remember going down to the 99 Final Four to cover Ohio State, and we're down at the Fan Fest area, and Bill Walton was there. And he couldn't have been nicer. He was such a fun guy to be around. And they had a court. They had a basketball court there. And, doing the television thing, wanted to do something visual. And I said, would you come out here and let's do a little one-on-one? And he did. And I went in to try to do a reverse and scored over him.
Oh.
And he tried to block it, tried to swat it in my face. Somehow, if you watch this tape, I have it on tape.
Video or it didn't happen?
No, I have the video. I'll bring it in. It's on like a thumb drive or whatever. I know Bake doesn't believe it. I want to show you as well.
Listen,
back in the day. But he was so fun, and it was cool to be around him. He was, as everyone is saying, just absolutely one of a kind. And I didn't know, honestly, he was sick. I don't know how that missed me. But when I saw it at 71, I was
It was kind of like the OJ thing, right? Where we found out OJ, had cancer, I believe, going on, and he passed away. So, that's a tough one because for me, Bill made Pac-12 After Dark fun. Like those late-night basketball games, he was so entertaining. Just seemed like an awesome dude.
I saw somebody say it's weird that he passes away the day after the final Pac-12 or Pac-10 sports game with the baseball championship. But we know his NBA career wasn't as great as it could have been because injuries derailed it a little bit. What player that his career was cut short or hampered by injuries, if you could go back in time and make them perfectly healthy, would you want to see?
Ooh. I'm going to go with, can I hit you with two?
You can do whatever you want.
I guess my name is on the show. You're right. I'm going to go with Steven Strasburg in baseball and Brandon Roy in basketball. Played for the Portland Trail Blazers, had some good years, but injuries unfortunately got him. So I'll go with those two guys.
Yeah, I'll do one for me and one for my dad. I'll do me, Bo Jackson, certainly.
Correct answer.
I think he would have been the greatest football player we've ever seen. And then I'll do one for my dad, same position. I'll give him Gale Sayers back.
Ooh.
Because Gale Sayers, I think 6 years or 6 to 7 with the 2 knee injuries. And I do believe that the Kansas Comet was one of the most deadly weapons on a football field that has ever been in the history of the game. It was just cut so darn short for the Chicago Bears. So I'll give him back Sayers.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Today's fan poll over at 971thefan.com. Who do you consider the Cleveland Browns' biggest rival? The Bengals, the Ravens, or the Steelers?
For me, the pie's kind of cut evenly. Maybe some Browns fans would probably go with the Ravens just because of the history there with all of that stuff. But like CB's a big Browns fan. He can't stand the Bengals. So I really don't know. I'm going to go just the pie's cut up evenly between all three. Who do you think?
33 and a third for all?
It's kind of how I'm feeling.
So, my mind, mentally, it always goes to the Steelers.
Okay.
But I do feel like, and allowing the organization to go to Baltimore and all that, I think you kind of nailed that part. It feels like that's the rival because you stole the team or you were allowed to steal the team and all that.
Right.
But I'm going to stick with Pittsburgh. I just think there's this inner hatred for Browns fans with Pittsburgh that will always be there. I'll go Pitt.
The truth shall set you free.
See what happens when I'm out for some time. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Before we get out of here, if you missed Gary Gramling talking NFL, Dave Lapham talking OTAs down there at Cincy with the Bengals, wherever you get your podcasts, type in Rothman and Ice. Those interviews and a lot more will be waiting for you.
Yeah, we will have some good stuff for you tomorrow. I believe we're going to have Ari Wasserman on tomorrow.
He's going to hop on?
Yeah. So we'll talk Buckeyes and college football, and I guarantee T-Bone will be talking about his trip to Indy, watching that fantastic finish of the 500. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Thanks for listening. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Death, taxes, and beating Michigan every damn year. This is your flagship home for Ohio State football. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. This is a Fan Action Update.
This action update is brought to you by Tipico. Gambling problem, go 1-800-GAMBLER. The Rockies ended the Guardians' 9-game winning streak yesterday. The Guardians have been the most profitable team in Major League Baseball this season on the money line. $100 bets on the Guardians on the money line each game will bring a profit over $1,300 this year. Cleveland is a minus 165 favorite in Colorado tonight. For your Tipico action update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
When it comes to getting a new roof, are you confident letting just anyone on the roof of your home? I'm Craig Schottenstein, owner of Schottenstein Roofing. Our team is dedicated to delivering outstanding value on every roof we repair or replace. Whether residential or commercial, Schottenstein Roofing meets the needs of every customer. From roof installation and repair to siding and gutters, you name it, we do it. Call Schottenstein Roofing, 614-321-8888 to schedule your free inspection today. Go to schottensteinroofing.com.
Whether you're a seasoned pro or a new golfer, think beyond the green and head over to X Golf Columbus and X Golf Powell. Come experience the most advanced and accurate golf simulators in the world at X Golf. A fun venue with great food, excellent service, and a full bar. You can play around on one of our 50 courses, take a lesson from our PGA Pro, hit the driving range, join a league, or just sit back and sip a beer on the outdoor patio. Book your tee time today at playxgolf.com. X Golf Columbus and X Golf Powell, the home of indoor golf.
Hi, I'm Lauren and I work for Meijer. People always ask, why do I shop there?
It's because I can get great quality and value in one stop. Like this week's hottest deals on locally grown asparagus and select cuts of pork. Plus, I can earn 50 points per gallon of gas pumped at any Meijer Express through June 1st with M-Perks. Meijer has all I need in just one stop, and the same low Meijer prices in-store and online. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Welcome to Reverse Aesthetics. Our medical weight loss program includes popular medications like semaglutide and tirzepatide, both of which are supercharged by our body sculpting treatments. Under the supervision of our board-certified medical doctor, Reverse Aesthetics will help you achieve your weight loss goals while tracking progress quarterly. We have plenty of inventory and can begin treatment within 48 hours of your consult. Schedule now at reverse-aesthetics.com or call us at 614-656-4000.
Hot under the collar? Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix that fast. 1-800-COOLING.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from the other window place.
Wilson, what's with the magic wand?
I'm trying to make our screens do that vanishing thingy yours do.
You mean the disappearing roll screens? Where the screen is there if you want it, or retracts and disappears if you don't?
Yeah, now, is that done with real magic?
No, it's not.
So I should probably take back the wizard's robe.
Yeah, I would. Get the window that Columbus homeowners rate the most trusted at PellaColumbus.com.
Open your door to a gorgeous Nature Stone garage floor. This is Paul Keels for Nature Stone. This month only save up to 50% during their May is for Moms sales event. Schedule your free cost estimate today at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor.